Hi, I'm Dan Zeverink. Welcome to Lakota West Stadium. I'm here with Brent Phelan, bringing you high school football, GMC style. Brent, we've got the Middletown Middies against the Lakota West Firebirds, and the Firebirds already clinching a playoff berth, which is great. So tonight, not much to them. There's not much one way to go. I don't think they can drop or go up in any angle, but they're in there and they're ready to go. And Middletown is a lot better team than the record indicates, and it should be a good game. What do you think?
It's kind of interesting. Middletown started off the season, we were just talking about it, playing Western Hills, won 49-0, and I think a lot of people said, wow, Middletown may be back. They've always had a lot of talented athletes, but ever since Coach Krause left, moved on now over at Fairfield, they've struggled a little bit putting wins on the record. But, boy, it's gone completely downhill since then. And not just, very few even close games.
Right.
They're 0 and they're 1-8 overall, and they're 0-7 in the GMC, and nothing really to play for here other than I guess trying to get something going for next year.
Senior pride, whatever. You got to try. It is your last game. A lot of these, it's a senior night here at Lakota West. Introduced all the seniors before the game, so a big game emotionally for that, and for Middletown, it's senior night for them too. It's their last night, last game of the season, potential last game of your life of of any football. So there is a little pride on the line for it, but these teams are fairly. As I looked at statistics, Brent, it was amazing. Offensively, they're both tied for 8th in the GMC, with about 2,000 yards or tied offensively. So they basically got the same offenses. Where they separate themselves is defensively. Lakota West is number 3 in the GMC, only giving up about 217 yards a game, whereas Middletown is number 8 or 9 in the league, giving up about 332 yards per game. So, the difference in this game should be on the defensive side of the ball. As they kick it going here, West has got the ball. Good return, getting the ball out too close to the 40, going to be just past the 35-yard line.
So big season, big turnaround for Lakota West. They were 4-6 last year. Last year of Coach Cox, who had been here since the inception of Lakota West.
Since Lakota West been Lakota West.
Brought in a new coach, Coach Tommy Bolden, and from 4-6 to at this point, if they win tonight, they're going to be at 7 wins this year, and as you mentioned, already in the playoffs.
A big turnaround. A lot of new things for Lakota West this year. New coach, obviously Bolden, came in, new quarterback, new offense. So they came in with a lot of new stuff, and they turned it into the new offense being triple option. As you see here, got a new quarterback, Mitch Bolden, a freshman. Wasn't expected to start this year, but has come in and done well.
Pretty good carry. The first one for about 9 or 10 yards from David Afari. I would suspect we may hear a lot of that tonight.
I'm guessing you will. It's a cold night, not windy, which is good. Thank God it's not last night, which was Halloween, where we had 40-mile-an-hour winds and it was freezing, so that would have been tough to play in. Tonight's just a little cold. It's in the lower 40s. Which this kind of weather's tough on an option team because it's cold. It's tough to handle the ball, and you're doing a lot like that where you're pitching the ball. It was a good job as Mitch was getting hit. He was able to complete that pitch, but that's dangerous. This offense is high reward, high risk. You can put the ball on the ground a lot, fumble a lot, but it's also you're going to break away for a long run or a big run every once in a while. Big play offense is the option. That was so difficult.
That was number 9, Malcolm Rencher, who came around to the outside there and got the pitch from quarterback freshman Mitch Bolden. Advanced it for about 3 yards. It's been interesting this season, running the option with the freshman. For most of the season now, we haven't seen him put a lot of balls on the ground out of the option. We've seen more balls drop out of the snap. Where we haven't fielded the shotgun snap clean.
Yeah, there's been a lot of those fumbles this year. It's been tough. Or as the quarterbacks run the ball again, he's a freshman. Nowhere near as strong as a senior. It can't happen. He's a big kid. He's a big, good, solid kid. By the time he's a senior, he's going to be a beast to handle. But as a freshman, when you got seniors pulling at your arms and ripping the ball away, that can happen. There's been a couple of those fumbles this year. But you're right. There's not been many pitch fumbles.
And that was 4 or 5 yards from Kurt Riesenberg around the left side that time. We're going to see Mr. Afari, David Style, cuts it, gets tripped up. So he will be short of the first down. We're going to be the first 4th down, 4th and about 2.
I'm guessing he's going to go for it. It's not even that, about 1.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to give him
a punt team.
Would be surprised, wouldn't you, here with 4th and 1 already across midfield. And here's the thing, in the
He brought a lot of transition in right there. I'm not sure what was going on there. I thought it was a punt team.
I don't know. Perhaps could it be their short yardage group?
It may be the jumbo package or whatever.
Because they use that a lot around. They use that a lot around the end zone and everything.
They do
else
have double tight ends, double
quarterback Bolden under center. Afari, the only back, actually lined up behind him. A couple wings out there, and David Afari is going to get the first down easily. Advance it almost to the 40-yard line. Looks like that might be the spot. 4th down and 1, 4th down and 2. It's not a shock when they go for it in this offense.
No, not really. I mean, this offense is certainly designed to get a yard or two on every play. And there you go. You get a great line search. You see 90 there. The tight end just blocking down and just collapse the outside of the Middletown line.
And that's Andre Prophet, the defensive lineman they brought in there, as you mentioned, the
jumbo package. And he just drove his guy. He pancaked his guy and allowed the Afari to get to the edge there and pick up the yardage. So it's good to see. And, you see what we've seen. You see Rencher at one wing out to the left, and you see Riesenberg here on the right side. Those guys have been getting more involved in this offense. Early in the season, it was just purely Afari. David's got 888 yards on the season, ranks 3rd in rushing. So he needs 120 yards tonight to get to 1,000 yards on the season.
Which he's done before. His sophomore year, he went over 1,100 yards.
Right.
A little less
and
last year.
He's got another game to go. I mean, they're going to have at least one playoff game if the season ended, as we were talking before the game. If the season ended tonight, they would play Coleraine at Coleraine, which is interesting. They didn't play Coleraine in the regular season this year, which is interesting as you have Tom Bolden coming in, Colerane's coach for the last 12 years. And they didn't play him this year, other than a scrimmage, which created a bunch of excitement around here. The stands were full for a scrimmage game. I haven't seen that.
So we're going to see a replay here. They really just run the ball to the left. David Afari. You see number 77, Tegra Shabola, was pulling. Running back hit the hole ahead of the trap block, but good line surge. They got more than the 5 yards they lost on that penalty, the false start to play before.
It looks like they flop tagger, don't they?
He actually pulled that time.
He pulled that.
Yeah,
time.
He pulled. You'll see him.
I was going to say, because he's a right tackle right down, number 77. He's a sophomore, and it's not a disguise. He is about 315 pounds, about 6'5". He is a really big man for a sophomore.
It looks like Lakota West was a little bit out of alignment there. You saw number 2, Alex Afari, David's sophomore brother, had lined up on the right side, and it looked like they moved him over to the left side. It was taking a little bit too long. The coaches on the sideline called the timeout. Make sure they get this set. You're 2nd and 9. You're at the 39-yard line. Obviously they don't want to make another mistake here and get behind the chains. Because that's the one thing with the option, right?
And we talked about this. You don't want to get behind the chains in the option. You don't want to start 1st and 15, 1st and 20. Because the option is not designed to pick up that kind of yardage that quickly. It's just not. It's, your option, if you're running it correctly, you're getting 6 or 7 yards on 1st down, which opens up the playbook at that time. You can throw on 2nd down because you only got 3 or 4 yards that you need to get, and then you can go straight to the pitch and pick up the yardage. Or, the option is, go misdirection. There's a lot of things you can do to pick up 6, 7 yards. There's not a lot of things in the option you can do to pick up 20 yards.
So here we go back over, in the shotgun still. Bolden, nobody behind him. We got David Afari coming in motion and the jet sweep. Middletown definitely had that read. They had 2 or 3 guys stayed outside and stepped up and made the play in the backfield. So going to be a loss of a yard or 2 on that one.
Well, if you saw that, they've seen that in films, and they've run that a lot this year. It's a big staple. I just wonder if Mitch keeps that. The entire Middletown defense, as you watch, is going that way. They see it, they know it.
And if you watch that, you saw 25 after he hands the ball off. His fake is back to the left. Yes. So if the defense completely flows.
And I think if he'd have kept that ball, he probably would have picked up 15 yards. I mean, there was no one left.
And that's the counter option, counter to it. So you're a little bit of misdirection. And that's what you're setting up. Sometimes you run these plays saying, well, if they want to overcommit to it, we've got something else. We'll see what happens here. 3rd and 11.
Haven't thrown yet, but he's going to go back and roll to his left and throw it. Hits.
That's 20. That's 23. Aiden Miller.
Yeah, Miller, who's been hurt and has just come back. He came back in the East game and was a big impact there.
He's done a nice job for him and actually advanced that pass, which was really just an extended handoff if you really think about it.
Here comes the jumbo packages. He picked up 8.
Yeah, it's going to be about 4th and 2, but he probably only threw the ball 6 yards in the air.
Yeah, it was a good call.
Good tackle there from Middletown, number 3. Saved the 1st down. Looked like he had a good chance of getting to the 1st down, but it was a nice defensive play. So here we go again, 2nd, 4th down on this series.
Looks almost like a horse-collar tackle, but he did not.
Yeah, that was Cameron Jr., the 6'1", 300-pound junior, of course. I wonder if he'll change his name next year. But here we go, 4th and 2 for Lakota West from the 32-yard line. See some motion coming right up there. It looks like they're just going to follow that and first down. So, I mean, not by much, but definitely made it past the 30-yard line, and that's all it takes.
That's all it needed, yeah, and he's there by about a yard or two, and that's all you got to do is keep moving the stakes.
There is a flag behind the Middletown side. I don't know what that is. Just
hopefully that's not a hold.
Kind of interesting. I mean, it's run 4 or 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage, so I'm not sure what that is.
Yeah, Farley coming out of the game. He doesn't come out much when you get the offense out there, but he's out. Aiden Miller in for him, and again, Aiden Miller is a very capable back, as you saw there, and he's good out of the backfield.
So it's a dead ball personal foul on Lakota West, which would mean it would be a first down, but then move the ball back 15 yards. So that could have been. It looked like they were talking with Mr. Afari a little bit as he came off the field. So I don't know if perhaps he was involved.
Well, you see, you almost have to, because to see him come off the field, something like that, he had to have been the culprit on that. I didn't see what he did, or he must have said something after the play.
And, who knows what happens in a pile-up like that. Wouldn't be a shock. David might have taken a little exception to something under the pile. I mean,
right.
we're speculating a little bit here. But the net effect of it is it's 1st and 10, but they're back at the 45-yard line.
Back at the 45, and, yeah, that's, again, good news for them is they're not behind the chains. It's still only 1st and 10.
So motion coming across again. We're going to see Bolden going to try to throw it long. He's got Riesenberg open. Nice catch by Kurt.
Yes.
Kurt's trying to cut back to get to the end zone. Tackled down around the 3-yard line. Well, that was a nice throw by Mitch. Put it out there.
Yes.
Right in front of the receiver. Kurt
well,
Riesenberg.
A good play call. He outran, came out wide. Riesenberg is somebody that I've liked all year. As we've talked about, Brent, he gets – when he touches the ball, good things happen.
You'll see him here coming all the way on the left side of your screen, and there he comes
straight
out.
Down out of the slot.
Good job catching the ball with the hands.
Yep. Tried to cut back there and is tackled inside the 5, but just a great job. And, again, as we talked about before, Kurt didn't play last year. Was talked into coming out and playing this year and has been a big impact for this West team. Like I said, every time Kurt touches the ball, good things happen for West.
So you're going to see it here. Looks like that short yardage here. Going to throw the ball again. A little bit of surprise. Couple guys open.
Ooh, you threw behind him a little bit. Had a guy open in the back of the end zone.
Looked like that was linebacker Isaac Kolosik, who
37.
Comes out in that formation. Also saw somebody else on the other backside. You saw in the back of the end zone on the screen that was open. Definitely caught Middletown by surprise. Didn't look like, wasn't a great throw. And I don't know if the receiver didn't sit down and he thought he was going to, or he did sit down and he thought he was going to.
Well, the receiver
keep
was
moving.
moving across the back of the end zone. He threw it behind him, so I don't know. But they brought Afari back in, and everyone, I think, in the stadium thought that Afari was going to get the football. He normally does in this situation. Kolosik goes in motion right there, and this time they do give it to him off the left side, and he goes.
And I tell you, if you notice that 97, Jake Kiefer is also in there in the short yardage, plays defensive line. You may see him come back in. He pushed blocked somebody all the way through the back of the end zone, and that really put David in a nice position where he was able to pretty much walk into the end zone there. So there you go. Great first drive. We're going to see this.
You can show him right here.
So you'll
left
see
tackle.
He's actually even one more wide.
Okay,
you'll see him come across
there.
there.
He is. 97. Oh God, he's driving that guy everywhere. Yeah.
So I think David.
He drove that guy into the band.
Yes. Oh, and he did make the kick. That wasn't picturesque, but that's 7-0 for Lakota West with 5:15 to go in the first quarter. So that was a 6-minute and 45-second drive. Two fourth downs converted.
And that total, I think they had the ball about the 35 when they started. So a 65-yard drive that actually ended up being a 80-yard drive because of the 15-yard penalty. They had to get up more. They had to pick that up after they picked the first down, moving them back 15 more yards. So that drive consisted of 85 yards.
So we'll talk about a couple of the guys there. I saw 55 Aaron Thomas on the line. We saw 72 Ed Bolden. Of course, we talked about 77 Tegra Shabola. And we'll be sure to mention some of the other linemen. They did a nice job. And that's the thing. It's sometimes hard to figure is that they're okay with 3 or 4 yards on a play.
Oh, absolutely.
That's perfectly fine. I mean, if they could get 3 1/3 yards and convert third downs to first downs, and that would be ideal.
Right. All you need is what 2 3-yard plays on a 4-yard play, and you got your first down.
And if you want to go for it on fourth down,
you can.
You can even get a little less than that.
And Tom has shown he's the gunslinger and will do that. I mean, he fourth down doesn't scare him. And again, the good thing for Tom though, Brent, that we haven't mentioned that much. West has been carried by their defense this year. Again, third in the league behind Fairfield and Coleraine. But their defense has been what's kept them in games and kept them, winning games. It's what won the East game, certainly, was how well their defense played and shut down East running attack. And I think you're going to see that here tonight. I mean, I think the defense is what carries them. So it's awful nice to know, if you're Tom Bolden, that if you go for it on fourth down, you don't make it, you got the defense to shut them down.
So nice kick from 99 senior Josh Lane. And the two people involved in the tackle there, I saw number 3, Aaron Boyd, and I think that was number 44, Ben Martin, also involved down on the play. So pretty good coverage. Stopped him at the 22-yard line. The kick was to about the 5.
And another strong point for West all year, Brent, has been their special teams. They have scored on a punt return, and they have not given up much from those, and they defend well, and the other team doesn't get good field position. So the special teams and Coach John Nickel, who handles that group, gets a kudo because they've done a good job this year.
So here you go. Middletown, 4 wide receivers out, 1 back in the backfield with the quarterback. Tries to hand it straight up the middle and was stuffed for a couple-yard loss. So not very effective. You see 97, Jake Kiefer, who we talked about, was in on the goal line situation on offense, involved in the play there as a defensive lineman along with a host of Firebird defenders.
Yes.
Loss of almost 3 on the play.
Yeah,
So,
the player I'm looking for is there he is, number Garen Carter, who leads the league in sacks, with 6 sacks on the year. But he really hyperextended an elbow. He's got a brace on it. He's out. He's got to wear that brace for the year. He's going to get surgery at the end of the year. Is Garen Carter, the left defensive tackle, who again is a big piece of this offense or this defense.
Quarterback scrambled a little bit. Number 14, Noah Smith, tracked him down after about a 4-yard gain, so that's going to put it 3rd and 9 here. Quarterback went drop back to pass, had no time. Had Firebirds in his face, did a nice job of scrambling to avoid the initial rush, but was pulled down after a very short gain.
Yeah, Kamari Fuller's 3rd in GMC in passing. So,
overthrows, and Hunter 21. Anderson, 21, the cornerback with the interception at the 42-yard line.
And Hunter Anderson adds to his lead in the GMC. That's about, I think, his 5th interception on the season. He's leading the GMC in INT, so he comes up with another right there. Fuller just overthrows his receiver. I was going to say, Fuller is 3rd in the GMC in passing at about 1,200, 1,300 yards, but he had a kid there. But that, they had a kid for 14 for West.
Yeah, that's
was there.
Noah Smith had dropped back. You had Isaac Kolosik, 37, had dropped back. So it was a tight little window that he had to try to drop the ball into.
And he overthrew him, and Hunter was there to happy to pick up his 5th interception of the year, and I think that's league leading. I think he's leading the GMC in interceptions.
And with the zone defense, he's looking back into the backfield, so that was a relatively easy
Yes.
catch. So 1st and 10 for the Firebirds, up 7-0. Afari's going to run it right up the middle. Is able to advance it inside the 40-yard line. Looks like they're going to spot him almost right on the 40. Gain of 3, just straight up the middle.
And this starts to get kind of wear Middletown out a little bit. They had a long drive, like I said, went 85 yards, not the 65 yards that you thought it was, or it went 80 yards because, well, there's 2 penalties, so it went 85 yards and extra yardage. And it's just that big offensive line pounding on you. And Middletown does not look big, at the front. Number 78, their nose tackle, looks like he's got some girth to him.
Lakota West going unbalanced. An extra offensive lineman on the left side, and there comes Riesenberg all the way around on the jet sweep, trying to advance it. Does a nice job to avoid the first tackle, and will end up getting about 1.5 yards, maybe 2 yards.
Well, I'm telling you, though, Brent, if they replay this, Middletown is completely selling out to that jet sweep. Bolden fakes. Watch Bolden as he fakes. I think you're not going to see it. But everybody, Middletown's committing to the jet sweep. If Bolden keeps it, he's going to score a touchdown.
So you see 1 Afari, 23 Aiden Miller trying to lead the way there for Kurt Riesenberg coming around, not able to get much on the play. Maybe a gain of 2. So we're gonna be 3rd and about 5. There you go. You'll be able to see the quarterback, and you'll see the lack of anybody anywhere near him.
Everyone's selling out in Middletown to the jet sweep. So if they do run that, he's going to be open. We give him out rolling to his right, which is much easier for him.
Now, that was kind of interesting. If you see what happened there, the quarterback, Bolden, rolled to the right. He had David Afari out in front of him looking to catch the ball. He signaled for David to block somebody. Unfortunately, while he waited for the block, you're going to see the second defender comes up here. You'll see him point downfield. Afari turns to go block one guy, but the other guy was able to fill number 3.
Number 3, safety comes
came
up
in and filled that play. So I think they're probably going to have to punt here, right? I mean, it's the 40-yard line plus territory. And you're talking about 4th and 7, 4th and 8.
Yeah, they're going for it. I guess, he feels good about the defense. Middletown couldn't do anything, ended up throwing throwing an interception. So maybe he throws a long ball here. It's the same as a punt if they intercept it, or you get it. Oh, they are punt. I'm sorry.
They're going to punt. See if the ball, good solid punt, caught at the 7-yard line. He's able to, nice job of returning it to get it past the 10. Lakota West was all over that. That was a really nice punt there from number 13, Dan Caudell. Dan started the season as a quarterback, or playing a lot of quarterback. I think he had some injuries. Been back the last few weeks as a punter and has had some good success. That was a really nice punt.
Yeah,
right?
He's solid as a punter. He's
took
really
a little
solid.
time, punted it down near the 5, and the return only made it out to the 11-yard line.
Yeah.
So
Dan's got the leg to be able to punt that in the end zone. He did a nice job punting that to where they had to feel that inside the 5, which generally is special teams inside. If you kick inside the 10, let it go, hit inside and go out. You get the ball at the 20. He fielded that inside the 5, and they got him down about the 10-yard line. So good punt, good coverage.
I think Middletown was fortunate there that the play was stopped. I saw 33 Jackson Kuwaj coming from the right side, and when they stepped out to try to block him, Jake Kiefer was the guy one inside of him, was going unmolested toward the quarterback, but there was a false start, so I guess that might have been part of it too. They were out of whack.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you the one thing West really has that's been good is Carlton Gray as a defensive coordinator. And I'm amazed at how many times he either slants to or blitzes to the way they're going. I mean, he's got a couple levels above high school football. He played pro football for a long, long time, and you can tell he's a little bit more advanced than these high school coaches because he always seems to, now they don't always execute properly. They'll miss a tackle or whatever, but in a lot of cases, he is angling to or blitzing into the way that the offense is going.
We're gonna see him just run the ball straight up the middle here. Number 12, David Jones, who's committed to the University of Cincinnati as a linebacker, is going to throw him down after a modest gain. There you go. You see David kind of throw him on his back. Got back 3 of the 5 yards they lost on the penalty. Make it 2nd and 12. Still just inside their own 10-yard line. Back to pass. Good pressure. See it coming out again.
He's got no time.
Yeah, and he made a great effort to end up with a positive 1 yard on the play.
I mean, he is getting the ball and getting, as he drops back and plants his back foot to throw, he's got to take off. I mean, they're already there.
You're seeing 98, Anish Valles, 97, Jake Kiefer, both involved heavily right up the middle.
You got to be careful if you're Middletown here, Brown. I mean, this is a place you don't want, to throw another interception. And I'm thinking Carlson's bringing everybody on a 3rd and 12. So you don't want to, give this right there. I mean, they brought the house, and he's got no time to throw the ball.
No, he just stepped back to look to pass and immediately saw red in front of him and ended up losing a yard or two here. So it's going to be fourth and more than 10. There you see it. I mean,
and that's Carter, number 11, who's just pushing his guy right back into him and causing havoc. I mean, he hasn't sacked anybody yet. Has Carter, but man, he's really just collapsing that tackle back into the quarterback and forcing him out of the pocket.
So the twin safeties for Lakota West, number 3 Aaron Boyd and number 2 Alex Safari, both back at the 45.
That's not a good punt.
Punt straight up in the air.
Actually
hits on the 20 and is marked down by Middletown at their own 12-yard line.
That was a 3-yard punt.
Wow, and it looked like. So they're going to mark it almost to the 13-yard line.
And those are the things that beat you. You see West in the playoffs. They've been playing good on special teams.
And there you have it at the end of the first quarter. Lakota West 7 and Middletown nothing.
Every hero wears a cape.
Plan and practice your escape.
welcome back. Changing sense. We were just talking, Brent and I were just talking that, during the break that that's the way you get beat. We end the quarter here, but, you're on your own 9-yard line and you have a 3-yard punt. Those are the things that lead to you getting beat as a team. And where West is going to the playoffs, their special teams have played well this year. And those are the differences a lot of time in good and bad. The special teams play, a punt here or there. Those kind of things is what gets you beat. And, again, we punt the ball, meaning West punts the ball. Great punt. Guy catches it inside the 5. You're not supposed to. He takes off, barely gets back to the 10-yard line. They get a penalty. And West holds them, and they have to punt, and they get a 3-yard punt. So West gets the ball 12-yard line.
Aiden Miller with a nice run, bounces it outside, cuts it back in.
He's in.
Looks like he's in the end zone. Yes,
Yep.
touchdown.
Aiden Miller, first play, touchdown.
You mentioned that the last couple of weeks Aiden's been back, and he's really made some nice runs.
He really has. I mean, he's been back. Kind of came back in the East game. At least that's where you saw him. He showed up in the East game and had about 70, 80 yards of total offense. And he's another threat, which is what West needed. I mean, early in the season, you just see Aiden here on a replay.
So it's just a straight handoff to the left side.
Yep.
Look at that.
And
You
look
see
at the line.
77, Tegris Shaboa, Xander Nitz, 19, blocking downfield.
Yep, and that's the difference between a touchdown and a 10-yard, 15-yard game is those wide receivers holding those blocks on the corners and the safeties. And you saw it there as Nitz was allowed to get him in. So, much credit to 19 Nitz holding that block for that long, allowing Miller to get into the end zone. But as I was saying before, Brent, early in the season,
we're going to see this again from behind the
coming
defense.
right at you.
But look at that. You saw Shaboa there. You see David Afari pushing in.
Nice block.
I mean, I don't know that he gets touched till right there about the 2-yard line, and his momentum's already going forward.
Yeah.
So,
and
really
Nitz
nice
held that
job.
block on the corner as they're replaying that, but Nitz held that corner for a long time, and that was the difference. They could have stopped him there at the 4 or 5-yard line, had that corner come off and made the play, but.
And that's the other thing, that a team like Middletown at 1-8, that's what happens to you, right? Is the defense, that's an offensive score, and they scored on the defense. But come on, you had the ball on offense, you punted, and the other team starts on your 13-yard line.
Yeah, that's
it's pretty demoralizing.
Very demoralizing.
You played hard. You had stopped Lakota West. You made them punt the ball to you, and then your team can't punt the ball back away.
Special teams again, as you said, our punt drove them inside, kept them inside the 10-yard line. They get a penalty right off the bat. So, they're backed up to their own goal line, and then their special teams punts the ball straight up in the air with some backspin. Looked like a Tiger Woods wedge, and it hits on about, the 30 and backspins all the way back to the 13-yard line.
So Josh Lane, number 99, had drilled the extra point through there for his second of the night, is kicking off for the second time tonight. Going to see him kick the ball, fielded around the 10-yard line by Middletown. Looks like a nice hole. Now we got good run out to the 35-yard line. Actually, Josh Lane involved in the tackle, although Roy, I think it might have been the turf monster that tripped him up, but there is a flag way back inside the 20-yard line.
That was Josh Bryant, a junior running back, with the return on that. Did a nice job. Hit the seam. As we talked about special team play, and there you go. Middletown makes a nice special team play.
And unfortunately, they're going to start the ball back inside their 10-yard line again after the penalty.
Blocking the back.
Yeah, so unfortunately, you made something happen.
At any level, do you see a kickoff happen and there's not a penalty?
It sure seems like it happens pretty often.
I feel like 90% of kickoffs at all levels, there's a penalty.
So they're going to start first. Middletown will start again, 1st and 10 from their 10-yard line. So if we work backwards, Lakota West had the ball first, drove the ball almost 7 minutes, scored a touchdown, kicked off. Middletown started inside their 22, 23-yard line, threw an interception, took the ball over again inside their, at their 10. Now they're starting again on their 10. So you're 1-8, and you're certainly not putting yourselves in any position to go to 2-8.
No, and Fuller, again, their biggest option, but West starting out. Again, West, the win here tonight is nothing more than a bunch of seniors, their last, home game. Definitely their last home game, because they're 5 in the playoff spot, which the top 4 get home games.
So that was Garen Carter, number 11, involved in that tackle for Lakota West on first down. Looks like the loss would be 3 or 4 yards. Yeah, we're going to see a loss of almost 4 yards here.
And if you look at Garrett Carter, number 11's arm, you'll see that brace where he really hurt himself right there. It's his left arm.
So 97, Jake Kiefer filled it, grabbed him, so he had nowhere to go. Guy was still on Jake. He couldn't bring him down, and Garen Carter came and finished him off for a loss of 4. So nice play by Jake Kiefer. You're going to see another nice play by Jake Kiefer, 97. They tried to run the ball again to the left, right, and ran right into Jake Kiefer. And that's a problem when you're the offensive running back and you're hitting the defensive linemen, and there's no offensive line between the two of you that quickly. Look at that. He just stood up, number 62, and grabbed the running back, right away and threw him down for,
when you got your defensive line making running stops, it's going to be a good night for you.
So
your linebackers aren't getting there; they don't have to because they can't handle this defensive line.
3rd and 14. He will try to pass here. Good pressure coming, as you mentioned, intercepted. So Noah Smith is with the interception, 14, and the touchdown. And Garen Carter, number 11, absolutely detonated on the quarterback.
Yes.
And the quarterback, hopefully he's not seriously injured, but he is laying down. Looks like he might be holding his collarbone area.
Well, I'm going to tell you, Garen Carter is a big human being, number 11 for West. And you see it, he just comes in.
So he's coming.
Watch him move. Inside rush.
He's going
he
to come
goes
from the
just
left
inside, and the guy barely slows him down. And boom, and then right there is Noah. I'm not sure who he was thrown to. I guess, that kid was on the button hook there, number 13. But, man, he threw a perfect strike to Noah, and Noah intercepts it and runs it right back for another 7 points.
Well, the other nice thing you saw there is, and you mentioned this earlier about Lakota West defense, they had the interception, and those guys turned into blockers.
Yep.
I mean, they were like, it wasn't just that they had the interception. It was like, how do we get him in the end zone?
Well, well-coached team, obviously. They know that when you hear interception or whatever their code word is, they know to turn and block. But that's a well-coached team. Special teams, again, or defense. Carlson's taught you that. That's a drill they run. They get ready for it. If you have an interception, it's exactly right. You got to turn into offensive players and start blocking right away. You just can't jump up and down like a moron because you got the interception. You still got work to do till you hear a whistle.
So this is what you do when you're playing a team that's 1-8. You jump on them, and that's what Lakota West has done tonight, right?
Yeah.
We're still 10:24 to go in the second quarter. We've already 2 interceptions, 3 touchdowns on the board for Lakota West.
Yes.
So, one from the offense, a nice long drive. One from the offense, 1 play from the 13-yard line going in because of the defense or the special teams.
Yeah, you can't ask
and now
much,
a defensive touchdown.
That's right. You can't ask much more of the defense. They have shut them down. Middletown has played this game inside their own 20-yard line for the most part, really inside their own 10. So the defense has, controlled the field position, given West a great field position even after the kick. They had good field position from the kickoff at the 35. Drove it right down and scored, and since then they've been playing this game inside Middletown's 20-yard line, and the defense is doing that, and now they get an interception and score. So what else more can you ask for? I'd say that Middletown has 0 yards offensively. I don't think they've gained a yard. I can't remember a play where they went positive. Everything's been an incomplete pass, interception, or they have shut the
the quarterback
game
scrambled
down.
for 2-3 yards. Barely avoided sacks was the extent of it. It's interesting. Josh Lane, his first extra point just slipped through there. Boy, he's hammered the last 2 through there, and here he is kicking off.
Getting lots of practice.
Yeah, here he is kicking off to about the 7-yard line. Middletown's going to try to bring this forward. Another solid return from Middletown out to the 30-yard line. Unfortunately for them, for the first time, no penalty flag.
Yeah, that was Josh Bryant again, number 5.
Nice return. Looked like he was going side to side, which is not always a good thing in the kick game. I'll tell you, if you really broke this down, Dan, each side of the ball, all 3 units have had some success here for Lakota West. If we think about that, we've had an offensive drive for a touchdown. Special teams turned the ball over on the punt, and so Lakota West started on the opponent 13, and then the defense had a pick 6. So really, you could almost give a touchdown credit to each of the 3 units so far, and I think that's a great thing as you're going in the playoffs, right? Coach Bolden, 12 years at head coach at Colerain, 12 years in the playoffs, so this is nothing new to him. He expects that this is a tune-up week to get ready for a big one.
He runs a very disciplined team. I've talked to their coaches. I've talked to him.
Going to run the ball around the left.
Very disciplined.
Wow. Jake Kiefer again. Now I don't know, see what happened there, if it was a face mask or what, but a host of flags out there. But Jake Kiefer, 97, once again, extended the play out there, and the running back had nowhere to go. We'll see if there was a face mask or what might have happened.
Personal foul, face mask. Yeah.
Thought it must have been when you see that many flags come in there. So that will be the first significant big play for Middletown here.
Yeah, 15 yards, and it comes off of a penalty. As you see it right there. I'm not sure. Do I see a right there? Oh, yeah, wow. Yeah, that is.
Yeah, Anish Vaez got a hold of it, and he knew it. You see him standing there like, oops.
He scored a 31 on the ACT. He should know better than that. But he grabs a hold of him. Yeah, that's bad. That's the Orlando Gary, Kenny Anderson, turned him into the Exorcist, where he just rips the head completely around. That deserves 15 yards, maybe more.
So first and 10 for Middletown in their first down out at the 45-yard line. So boy, they got to do something here, right, Dan?
Yeah, they're trying. That was Josh Bryant who's been doing the kickoff returns, and it looks like he was picked up and tackled by number 10. Cy Walters, a safety, coming up and making a good play on that, along with Garrett Carter was over their D-line. D-line is doing their job, man. They're in every play. They're not getting past the D-line right now.
So 10 Walters makes the tackle for 1 yard gain. Boy, when your safety can do that, there's another solid run there. I gained almost 4 yards.
Well, for them, that's pretty good. Again, that was Bryant.
Yeah,
And he was brought down by quite a few people over there. It looks like 14 was over
14
there.
Noah Smith, who's been involved quite a bit already tonight.
Right.
33 Jackson Kuwatch. We'll see who
See
else.
over here, yeah. And then they're running just kind of a quick pitch, trying to get outside, catch a corner. Good job right there. 14 Noah, actually, yeah.
Yep.
You keep prevents him from getting outside coming up. From
So
his,
third and 5, big play here for Middletown. They're going to try to run the ball. Oh, boy. So the quarterback tried to do a read option, handed the ball to the running back, tried to take it back.
quarterback draw.
Quarterback fumbled it, and as he tried to make the move, and unfortunately lost a couple yards.
Yeah, Middletown not having a good day, but
You'll see him leaves the ball in. And the way that works, Dan, explain that to you, because 5 looked like he had no idea if he's supposed to take the ball or not. How does that work?
Well, you're reading it. You stick it in there, and the quarterback gives it. It is a tough thing. The guy's got to think he's getting it, and the quarterback has to pull it out. So that's a tough deal. I mean, that happens a lot.
So back to punt, and
A much better punt this time where it's going to roll.
Going to get a good result. We'll see what happens with Aaron Boyd, pulled down by the shoulder pads there. So not much of a return. Did a good job of stopping the ball from rolling. That's really about the extent of what he gained, because that punt would have probably finished inside the 10-yard line. He grabbed it and gets the ball 1st and 10 for Lakota West at the 14.
Well, that's really lucky he got pulled down, because Kalen McGill from Middletown came in like a missile. And had he hit him, it probably would have blew him up. So lucky he got pulled down as he did, and Middletown kept him from getting killed, because there was a heat-seeking missile coming in there from Middletown that just missed him.
So with 8:12 to go, Lakota West up 21-0. Really, they're the second or third true offensive possession. Wow, I think that was a Fari, and was thrown down immediately.
He lost yards on that.
Yeah, nice play from.
Yeah, Middletown came in. It was one of their D linemen came right through.
Yeah, we'll see
and you'll see off the right side, a D lineman just comes right in and grabs him and just throws him down. I don't believe that was a blitz, or maybe. It was number 3, so it was a
Cameron
blitz.
Jr., the linebacker.
Yeah.
Came right across and was able to throw David down with, for a loss of a yard.
Yeah, he's their Mike linebacker, and he came right through on a blitz. They had a Mike blitz there, and he just came right through and was barely touched.
As you mentioned earlier, Lakota West is switching some sides. Earlier they went unbalanced. They're back to throw, and wow. Had a couple
Rencher.
possible. Yeah, Rencher was open, a little bit short, and Xander Nitz was a little bit deeper, and kind of split the difference between the two of them, which was unsuccessful. So we're going to be 3rd and 11 for Lakota West. They haven't had much of this yet.
No, and they're backed up in their own side of the field too, which is unusual. But that's the one thing Mitch Bolden needs to get a little bit more and work on over the summer. It's just his consistency and accuracy. He can sometimes be a little, as we saw in the back of the end zone, he missed that guy, and right there he had a guy open. He didn't make the play, threw a little bit long. So he's got to work on that. But again, he's just a freshman, so give the kid a break. He's going to be really good.
3 receivers back. They're going to throw the quick one to Afari. They split out. Obviously, the design of the play was such that if he can make one man miss, he has a chance for a first down.
Yeah.
He could not. The Middletown defensive back threw him down. It was still a gain of about 7, but it's going to leave them 4th and 3. And at their own 21-yard line, Lakota West is going to line up to punt.
Yeah, number 9 did a good job open field tackle on one of the best running backs. You're going to see him out here. I think that was 9, maybe not. No, let's see the cornerback one made a nice.
18?
18, yeah. He made a really, really nice. And 18 is the kid, Kellen McGill, that was going to blow up Boyd on the return.
So here we go. Caudell back to punt. Not picturesque, but it's going to take a great bounce. Wow. This is one of those things where they talk about in baseball, just finished in the World Series, that you hit that bloop single and they say it's a line drive in the book. This wasn't the most picturesque punt, but look at this.
Yeah, just a great. He did it well. It was a low line drive, had some spire, but when it hit, it just bounced and took off. That's the great thing about turf.
They're going to be 1st and 10 at their own 24, which means it was over a 50-yard net punt for Lakota West. Punt from their own 21. And now Middletown has their own 24. Completely flipped the field.
Absolutely. Field position, which is so important in this. And again, we continue to talk about special teams. That flip the field and gives West a better situation from where they were. They were backed up to their own, against their own, backed up to the end zone. And they, Caudell comes in, hits a nice punt, and here they are.
So quick throw out to the wing. Caught in advance, and he could, if he stays in bounds, looks like he is. Looks like Middletown's going to have their first play of any
speed
real
right
success.
there, isn't it? Don't you think? You see how much he separated there?
That was number 5,
Josh
Bryant, who you've talked about on special teams in here. Made it. Caught a short pass, was able to get around the corner, and boy, once he got ahead.
Wow, that was impressive.
What
they just threw the wing, and he beat 3 guys. I
what
thought
did
they had him.
Used to say if he's even, he's leaving.
He's gone. 1-on-1 equals none. He took it to the house.
So that's a 76-yard touchdown pass.
I can't believe how fast he separated from the West defenders. I mean, West got a pretty quick defensive back group, and he must be. I want to see that kid in the GMC in track, because he's got to be 100 or a 200 guy. I mean, he just left them in the dust.
So the kick is good. So with 6:22 to go here in the second quarter, Lakota West 21. Here it is.
Just a straight screen. He beats one. Oh, straight screen, and he beats one guy at their 37, Colossi 8. 21 misses him, which is unusual. I think they thought they had him out. Now, it looked almost like he stepped out there.
So Hunter Anderson, Truman Mason.
Yep, they all missed him. And Colossi.
And Colossi were all solid tacklers for Lakota West. Couldn't make the play, and he broke clear. Look at that. He broke clear at the 36-yard line.
Looks like
it was all over.
Yeah, it looks like Hunter Anderson was held right there on the shoulder pads. But, man, I can't tell if he stepped out. It looked like he stepped out right there. But, we can't tell from that angle if he's touched the white. But then he comes back in, he's gone. I mean, look how there's a guy in about 4 yards of him. By the time he scores, there ain't anybody in 20 yards of him.
And the one thing you'll find with Lakota West, they don't stop running now. Coach Bolden would not put up with that. So they're going to follow the guy all the way to the end zone. Middletown's going to kick off. See what happens here with Lakota West. They're going to get another opportunity to return the ball. They're not expecting a very deep kick after the first one tonight. It's a high kick.
Got Boyd Mafari back there. Mafari looks like he's going to take it.
Yeah, I don't know what the early penalty was. It right there on the sideline, so I don't know if Lakota West had, see what we call here. It looked like it could have been a sideline warning. Yep, that's what he's signaling. So basically what it means is they had a player too close. If you ever look at the sideline, you'll see the sideline of the field, and then about 3 feet over is another line, and that's where the team is supposed to stay.
And coaches. Everybody's supposed to stay behind it. The only person that's really allowed in front of that line is the head coach.
And so what you
see it right there. That right down there. You see everybody standing behind it. But and that's also so that the officials can run the sideline.
And that's really what it is. It's a safety
issue for the officials. Yeah, they don't want to run into a player standing there. So that's clearance for officials to be able to move up and down the sidelines.
So it's a warning, in essence, the first time they call that in a game. So it'll be first down and 10 from the 25-yard line for Lakota West. They're going to run that jet sweep. You see that often from Lakota West. They like to keep some different guys into play.
And again, Bolden's over here. And there isn't anybody but the west sideline over there. I mean, he was open. I mean, they're going to do that. At some point, Bolden's going to keep this off the Jets, and he's going to go the whole way.
So number 9, Malcolm Rencher, advanced it almost exactly 10 yards. So it's first and 10 again for Lakota West, now from the 35-yard line.
See if West comes down and answers this and just eats up. There's 5:57 left. My guess is Bolden will love to go down and answer the touchdown.
Boy, Alex Safari, 2 wide open.
Oh, good throw. The safety was able to get back.
Yeah, safety made a nice recovery on it.
Safety got up because it looked like Afari was breaking free, but the safety from Middletown got back and knocked that away. But it was a good throw. I mean, had that kid not got back and recovered that fast, it would have been completed.
Yeah, and that's the thing. He had him open, maybe waited just a second too long to throw the ball. Threw a pretty good ball. It looks like 2 had to hold up just a bit. But now we're quibbling, right? If you would have thrown that about a yard longer or a second earlier, it probably would have been a completion. But pretty good-looking play and a really nice defensive play by Middletown. So here we go, 2nd and 10. They're going to do a delayed handoff to Afari. Afari's going to advance it up for 11 yards this time, up to the 46-yard line for the first down. They keep faking the jet sweep or running the jet sweep, and this time they bring it then to Afari going right back up the middle after the defense, as we talked earlier, the defense is just all committing to the play action.
But that's what it's all for and designed for. As you see, the pros do this as read option type of offense where you're bringing people all over the place. When you got a guy in motion and you fake it to him, then you give it to the back or you fake it to the back again, and then you take off with your quarterback. It's all designed to hold the linebackers. Linebackers can't figure out where to go and who's got the ball.
So here we go there, and we talked about that earlier. So for whatever odd reason, there's been more balls hit the ground somewhere in the center quarterback snap than even after they started advancing the ball.
Right.
And it ends up, Bolden jumped on it after he couldn't pick it up clean, and it'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play.
Bolden joked about during his radio show. He said he asked his son to take out the garbage, and he handed it to him. He goes, "Please don't drop it." So he at least he's got a good sense of humor about it. But it's obviously on his mind.
So here comes Afari on the jet sweep. He's going to turn the corner, gets the ball ahead for. Let's see where he goes out of bounds, but
Picked
looks
up
like
the
he
fumble
gained
loss.
about 5 or 6 yards. It's going to get him to 3rd and maybe 8.
Which is manageable again. I mean, that was a good play. That jet sweep. Normally he comes from the slot position. That he came right out of the backfield and just kind of a little different look from that jet sweep, and did a good job with it.
You see a lot of formations where one Afari, like you mentioned, now probably over 900-yard rusher this season, lines up as a wide receiver. And I can tell you, David is a commit to the Miami University up in Oxford, and a big reason for that is they like his ability to run the ball.
Like that right there.
And we'll see if they call it now. They actually marked him down before the ball came loose. Although if you'll notice, Ben Martin, 44, jumped on it.
Heads up, by Martin. Did a nice job. You're always there,
just
always
in
looking
case.
for it. But
So
you're
going to
see him put it down. But this is all far. He got the ball short, and then he picks it up. They couldn't get him on the ground. Right there, missed tackle.
Well, 3 defenders.
2 missed tackles. Now he's getting some yardage, and that.
Yeah, knees down, left knee.
Was he down? Was his butt down?
You're going to see the knee right there before the ball comes
and he still
loose.
has control of the ball.
So
he's down.
So first down for Lakota West on that. They converted the 3rd and 8, and actually they converted the 2nd and 14 in 2 plays for a first down at the
And that was
Middletown.
all Fari on that. He's just made a great move and got rid of 3 tacklers that would have stopped him short of the first down.
So it looked like a little bit of confusion there. But the one thing nice about Mitch Bolden there, he turned and faked, and there was no running back coming that direction. He just tucked it and ran up the middle and gained 3 or 4 yards.
He went where he thought the ball was going to go and where the blocking was, and in smart play.
Yeah.
Picked up 3 or 4, which could have been a 3 or 4 yard loss, so 6-yard difference.
Now, Mitch is a freshman, but I mean he's listed at 6'2", 180, and I don't know for sure what he is, but he certainly looks like a well-built
he's
young
a little
man out
thin.
there, right?
He's a little. I think they'll end up putting probably another 25 pounds on him of muscle by his senior year, and he will be just an absolute stud in this offense. I mean, I can't wait to see him in his senior years. I think he'll be very good.
So there's Aiden Miller and nobody around.
Nobody.
He's going to get past the first down yardage before there's anybody. I mean, he just did a beeline 45-degree angle from the backfield toward the sideline.
Well, the tight ends or the D tackles out there are just collapsing Middletown's D line. I mean, you're going to see this off there. Look at them, they're collapsed down. There's no one there. Then you get a good block out there.
Xander Nitz, so 22 Riesenberg, Nitz downfield. And, wow, that impressive. And, you'll see some other guys out here. And, really, you finished the run inbounds there for an extra 3 or 4 yards to get him a first down.
Yeah, Nit's doing a good job on those stock blocks, which are allowing these backs to get extra yards. So, kudos to the wide receiver coach teaching these guys stock blocking because Nitz is doing a great job.
So, there's a good look at where a little bit out of it. There was a good look. It was an unbalanced line. And so when we say unbalanced line, you're going to see a center. You will see one offensive lineman to his left, the guard, and then the tight end next to him. And then you'll see, an extra lineman on the right side.
Which is funny because that guy that would normally be playing tackle on the unbalanced line, that guy's eligible. He's the last guy on the line, and a lot of times they'll go, fake that and throw back to that guy.
So here we go. There was a flag on the play. What happened there? It was some kind of pump and go. Snap back to the quarterback. He pumped, faked like he was going to throw it, hopefully on a second move, get a guy open. And then by that time, the defensive line did get pressure on him and brought him down for a loss. There was a flag, defensive holding, and a face mask.
Wow, that's big. So they'll accept the face mask, get a 15-yard.
Yeah, so we'll see that again. But you're going to see here the snap, and it didn't. He
didn't say personal foul on that. That's only a 5-yard face mask call. So there's the face mask call coming in.
So you'll see that number 3 there, just right there. He grabbed him and brings him down by his head, including one hand in the face mask on the front, bringing him backwards.
Yeah, that's number 3 is Cameron Jr., who is a junior. Cameron Jr. or junior. So next year he'll have to be Cameron Sr., the senior.
So here they go. It'll be, again, the reason they're going to take the 5-yard holding penalty is because that's going to be marked, from further forward than the of the play. So you're going to end up with 1st and 7 or so.
And I think you're going to see Bolden
half the
just
distance.
a nice pitch there.
Riesenberg, I believe, right, coming around the left side.
Yeah, that's a nice pitch as he's getting hit. Wade to the last minute, got the ball at the Riesenberg, who picked up reasonable yardage. And a good job by Riesenberg staying in bounds. That was a heads-up play by not running out of bounds.
Yeah,
Keeps the clock moving.
2:09, plenty of time for Lakota West to get in the end zone.
Well, I think West is trying to, they don't want to score too quick. They're trying to run this clock out. They'd probably like to score inside of a minute or less as they're doing stuff here. And, again, Riesenberg doing a good job staying in bounds. Not, he got pulled out, but they kept the clock running, so he went down in bounds. So smart heads-up play by Riesenberg as he picked up good yardage there.
So it's going to end up being 2nd and 2 from the 7-yard line after the penalty and then that run. Here's going to come all the way from the outside.
Is that Jones?
That looks like David Jones, giving him a chance.
He got a touchdown. Yeah, all right, David Jones.
So I don't know if are they throwing the senior linebacker a bone there?
I think they are. They have to be. I haven't seen Jones run the ball all year. You see him right there. He's a linebacker going to UC. But they give him a little bit of the jet sweep action. He gets outside and gets him a touchdown here on senior night.
What's nice there is, he got tripped up, but, had no qualms. He was getting into the end zone here. So here comes.
Came from his wing position. He's right there. Just nothing new, nothing more than that jet sweep. He gets there.
Gets tripped up around the 3 or 4 yard line, but is able
dives.
to keep his feet far enough to get.
He smelled the end zone.
There's the kick from number 99, Josh Lane.
I guarantee he'll be talking about that all night.
It doesn't matter. You have 10 tackles. It doesn't matter a couple sacks, a fumble. He had a big interception.
Yeah, after the game with his girlfriend,
week.
whatever restaurant they go to, he's going to be going, did you see my touchdown? Did you see my touchdown? So glad to see Bolden doing that. And, again, probably why the players like Tom Bolden so much is things like that, allowing his seniors on senior night to go run and get a touchdown. That kid will remember the rest of his life. And, Tom Bolden knows that, and that's probably why these kids like him so much and actually love him. That's actually John Nichols, the special teams coach there, talking to him, getting him in line, making sure they don't run something back. Because Josh Bryant, number 5 for Middletown, has showed some incredible speed. We want to see him break out.
You sure don't want to see him in the open field again. So with 1:30 to go in the first half, Lakota West 28 and Middletown Middies 7. Lane is going to kick the ball off here. See what they.
I wonder if he's just going to dribble that out there. As coach said one time, I don't think they'll kick to 5. Wherever they kick, it'll be away from him. Because he said I've heard him say this in Kilrain when he told him to kick the ball out of bounds and the kid made a mistake and kicked it to the best player on the field, who returned it for a touchdown. It ended up getting called back for blocking the back. But he told the kicker after that, son, this is a very simple game. You don't kick the ball to the best player in the middle of the field. Just kick it out of bounds, and we're good. I'm a little surprised he kicked deep, and he kicked to 5.
And he drove, and as you said, look out.
Well, he's just so fast. If he gets even a step, he's gone.
So, he took it from the 5-yard line out past the 25-yard line. It looked like Lakota West on that, though, kept their lanes very well, very disciplined. Maybe didn't run down quite as fast as they normally did. Better to be in control.
They kept him from running sideways, and that's where you want him to go. You don't want him to, get a seam. If he catches a seam, he's gone with that speed. I was really impressed with his speed, so you don't want to see him going. If I'm Carlton Gray right now, I want to know where 5 is on defense. And, you only got 1:19. You don't want another one of those screen passes or something that's going to go, 70 yards.
So here they go back. Fakes the pitch to the left, and they're going to come back and throw the ball and just through to open space. Over, about 3 or 4 feet over the top of the under receiver and 4 or 5 yards short of the over receiver there. So be 2nd and 10 for the Middies from their own 26-yard line. Still 1:13 to go.
All that means is incomplete pass. Yeah. But West has had so much pressure on his quarterback. He's not getting good looks, good clean, can't step up. He's throwing on the run, or he's throwing with somebody in his face. So he's having a rough night right now.
So here you go. Looks like they're just going to try to hand the ball up the middle. Taken down by a couple players there in the middle of the defense. It looks like Lakota West is going to take a timeout now at 3rd and 9.
Well, yeah, the way that punter punted that, especially that one time, you want to make them punt here. You want to force them into the punt, and you get the ball. There's 1:06 left. West has all 3 timeouts left. They could get a score. They got a good kicker, so they don't need to get too far, especially if this punter doesn't do a good job getting the ball out like he did that, down here with a 3-yard punt.
So 3rd and 8. If you're Middletown, do you run the ball again, make Lakota West use their 2nd timeout, or do you throw the ball and try to convert this first down? They haven't had a lot of success. I mean, they did have the long touchdown pass, but it was a 6-yard pass and a 80-yard run.
I would honestly go back to the other side and throw that screen to 5, because then you got kind of the same thing. It's a good, it's an easy play. Throw the screen, and if you throw the screen right here, you get the same benefits. If he catches it, it's a running play. Clock keeps going. If you get lucky, he gets outside and scores again, or you have a chance. But I'd look for 5 on that screen play, because again, you're probably going to catch it and keep the clock running, even if he doesn't get the first down or more.
So interestingly, I see number 13, Dan Caudell, warming up as a quarterback on the sideline over here.
He might get a chance.
He may get a shot here with the wow, and you obviously take your time out here. He did drop back to pass, was taken down immediately for about a 3-yard loss. So it's going to be 4th and 10, second time out by Lakota
Ran
West.
4 seconds off the clock on that play was all they ran off that on a running play, or it ended up being a sack, I guess. And guess what? A minute 2 left. You have a couple timeouts left.
So the key here, and it's been interesting. Punt returns have been a blessing and a pain for Lakota West. Right? They've fumbled a couple of them, but they've also returned one for a touchdown against LaSalle early on.
Yeah, 2. Alex or David Afar. No,
Alex
Afar. Yeah. You get Alex and David. David, I shouldn't forget because he's touched the ball all the time. But Alex has played good defensive back. He's got 4 or 5 interceptions on the season. He's up in the upper 5 of the league in interceptions. Got a return. He's a great athlete. He's only a sophomore, so he's going to be around for a while. I don't know that you won't see him next year playing a little more offense than he plays currently, because he's definitely a threat. And he's back now, so if he can catch the ball, he's back with number 3 also. Aaron Boyd.
So the twin safeties again, which are designed obviously to hope that you catch the ball or keep it from bouncing past you. They're lined up just barely in Lakota West territory, so we'll see what happens here. Punt kicks the ball out of bounds. I think it's out of bounds. We'll see where they spot it. Here comes the walk back. So it's inside the 45, right around inside the 40.
Yeah, just inside the 40.
I don't know if you've ever noticed that, but it reminds me of that old incline game they had on Price is Right. Where the
guy just falls
off. Right,
off.
he goes back there and he keeps coming forward to see where they line up to mark it. So it's going to be 1st and 10 after a nice defensive stand. 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line, still 55 seconds.
So that's what we talked. That's why he was calling timeout. Yeah, that's why he was calling. They're out of timeouts on the scoreboard.
You're right. They used one early, and then they used two to stop them.
Yep, they did, and they called that one early.
That's right.
Because they didn't have didn't have Afari
Alex
lined
Afari
up.
was switching sides of the field.
Yep.
Absolutely.
So those are it. But
so Caudell is in at quarterback, 13.
Still plenty of time.
So senior Dan Caudell back to pass. Going to throw the ball deep down the sideline.
Ooh, that was close. But good corner play over there by Middletown, knocking that away. He was step for step with Nitz. So Nitz finally got a ball thrown his way after Nitz has been doing a great job blocking it. But you'll see the corner just stayed with him. They were in a man-to-man. That number 7 for Middletown. You can't play any better. Yeah, you can't play corner any better than that. Well thrown ball, though.
So here we are, 2nd and 10 from the 35-yard line. Again, Caudell in the shotgun. See what happens
Caudell,
here.
transfer from Moeller this year, and was kind of hyped as. Ooh. He was hyped as. Oh man, he got hit. Wow, he's going to feel that in the morning. Caudell broke through that, looking for Afari there. Number 2 was incomplete, but man, at the end of that play, Caudell got drilled.
So it looked like he was trying to run through there. Somebody kind of, got it rake across his helmet. Looked like he stopped a little bit, continued past that, and as you said, thought he was going to run, saw the defender about to hit him, and at least gave Alex Afari a chance to make a play downfield.
Right.
It was well
he got absolutely blasted at the end of that play. I mean,
3rd and 10 here. Looks like Caudell is walking out to tell Riesenberg 22 where he'd like to see him downfield.
Trips right. You got Afari off down here on his own side. So I could see Afari going deep. He's a big 6-foot-something receiver.
As well as the back of the backfield. So fortunate for Lakota West, the ball was underthrown across the middle. The safety thought he had a play on it, and then David Afari, the receiver from the other side of the field, came across and just collided with him.
He was wide open, though. I mean, one was open. It was a good pass. Afari should have probably caught that. As you see, number 26 down for the middies is down in the middle of the field. He might have just lost it. Hopefully, he just lost his wind. is Terrence Richardson is down on the field, but right there they collide.
Yeah, collided with his own player.
Yes, he did, and he's slow getting up on that.
You'll see that the ball just a little in front.
But
of
Afari should have caught that.
And it bounced. Yeah, you can see that. That was definitely catchable. So it's 4th and 10 from the 35. Obviously, we're still waiting on the injury here. Hopefully, it looked just awkward. I don't think either of the two Middletown defenders realized the other was there. They were trying to make a play on the ball and the receiver, and everything came together at the same time, and they collided. So, Dan, what do you think here? I mean, we're 34 seconds.
They're going to go for it. I mean, why give? Yeah,
obviously,
they're going to go
obviously
for it.
They're going to go for it, but we're seeing some other players out here for Lakota West. You know, we've seen David Jones, a linebacker. We've seen, which is not, which has been, as far as I know, the first time this year he's carried the ball.
Yeah.
We've seen several plays with defensive linemen involved in the blocking, but we've seen that most of the year. In that,
there you go, Coach. Bring in Jonesy. All right, well, we're going to take a break and as they attend to Richardson here from Middletown, so we'll see you later.
So we're back here at Firebird Stadium, and you'll see number 26 from Middletown.
Richardson walking off the field.
Still walking off the field a little bit.
A little gingery.
And couldn't really tell what happened to him there. Looked like his shoulder arm collided with the helmet of his teammate, but somebody thought they saw the flashlight into the eyes, so maybe a concussion, maybe.
Well, then he landed really weirdly on his shoulder. So I mean, this can cause shoulder separations, can cause a collarbone to break. I mean, there's all kinds of bad things that can happen. But
so on the football side of it, we're back with 34 seconds to go. 4th and 10 for Lakota West from the Middletown 35-yard line. Number 13, Dan Caudell, back in the backfield. He, the quarterback in the shotgun. You got Aiden Miller with him. Middletown's going to take a timeout after that. I don't know if they didn't get the right guy out there or they weren't sure what defense when they had to obviously substitute out number 26, the injured player. So
we just saw something they didn't like. Their defense wasn't set, didn't have the right coverage on something. They called it, and they want to make sure that they keep West, even if they catch it, inside the 10-yard, inside the 10 yards, so that they get the ball back and stop.
So Middletown still has 2 timeouts, so that timeout didn't mean much to them. Lakota West is out of timeouts here, so see if they can dial something up for Lakota West.
And what? Do you go for the end zone here, or do you just go for the field, or try and get the first down? Because you got 34 seconds left, so you get a first down, you can clock the ball and stop it. And have, probably 2 or 3. They probably got 3 more plays left in you with 34 seconds left.
So if you get a first down, that means you're at least to the 25-yard line, which also puts you in field goal range.
Right.
Which for a senior kicker, you might want to give him a chance too, if the situation, can
try a couple quick passes out, to the sidelines.
So I don't think you need
get some yards. Yeah, you're right. You got a good kicker.
I don't think you need to go to the end zone. No. I think you need to find a way to get 10 yards. I also don't think though you throw that quick pass for 2 yards and hope that the guy gets an extra 8. And you've got Dan Caudell in the game, so. I think he's going to try to make something happen here, throw the ball. He's going to roll out to his left, back to throw, see if it is caught. It is caught, and it is a first down. I think that's number 2, Alex Afari with the catch.
That is, they need to get the line, though. I mean, the clock's still running, 25, 26.
So it'll stop till they reset the chains here in high school for the first down. Here we go. They're winding the clock at 25.
So here goes the clock. So they're going to go back. Caudell's going to throw the ball.
He's got David Afari, one open. Didn't quite get the ball out in front of him in time, and a nice defensive play.
Right, they had a good defensive play. That ball was thrown a little bit behind Afari. If the ball leads them, I believe it's a touchdown. But number 10 there for making a good play is Sheely.
So he was open a little bit early. It looked like he waited till he got open to throw the ball, which was a little too late.
So as a result, Sheely's a little upset they didn't go for the interception because it looks like he feels like he could have had that there, and he probably could have.
So it'll be 2nd and 10. That clock does stop with the incompletion. Ball's at the 22-yard line.
And Lane's got plenty of leg here, so I think they'll go one more time trying to get the ball in the end zone. If they catch it in the middle of the field, they'll get up and clock it and kick the field goal is my guess.
Oh, so it looked like a pretty nice throw by Caudell. Couldn't reel it in there. That was, again, number 2, Alex Afari. Looked like they had a good shot there.
So 12 seconds left here, Brent. Do you try the field goal now?
I think you run 3rd down again. Give them another shot at it here. Because if there is a first down, the clock will stop.
The only problem is if you catch it short of the first down, it's over.
You got to hustle.
The clock will run out.
So here we go. We'll see what happens here. Back to pass again. Blitz right up the middle. He got rid of it, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass. Fortunate there. I mean, the ball did go forward 5 or 6 yards, but Good pressure right up the middle. We've heard from him a lot. That's number 3. Once
Yep.
again, Mr. Junior is
You got
is
4th down. Here comes the kicking. Yeah, here comes the field goal attempt.
so it
from
looks
Lane.
like they're going to spot it at the 29-yard line, so a 39-yard
Is
attempt.
that not? That's not Lane, is it? That's not 99.
It is.
Oh yeah,
99.
it is. Okay.
So from the left hash mark, which for a right-footed kicker is, a little bit more challenging sometimes.
Cy Walters on the hold.
There's the snap, the hold. Kick is up. Plenty of leg, as you mentioned, and he kicks it through. Wow, that would have been good from 49 or so,
It
right?
would have, yes.
Which I tell you, if you are the coach, you love to see that before the playoffs. You love to see that before it might be something that's critical for you. Clock does
Well, Lane
stay.
did that in the Sycamore game. Kicked a field goal that I think put the game. Was a big play, a big momentum shifter in the Sycamore game where he hit a long field goal right before the half on the same kind of situation where you didn't have much time, and West drove it down and got there. And it's good, like you said, good to see for the playoff reasons that you want to see those kind of things hitting well. Your kicker's kicking well. That gives him a lot of confidence right there.
So here, still 3 seconds ago, obviously we would expect that he's going to dribble the kick. You're not going to want to give 5. I mean, the only player that's shown any real offense for Middletown is back there returning. Why would you even give him a chance from it?
I wouldn't. You just squib kick this thing here. You don't want to give anybody in the back of that team, the best players they have, a chance to run the ball. So kick it to an up back who's usually a blocker, not a runner.
So 31-7 West. I mean, this is a great situation, right? Senior night, you get a chance to do whatever you want. You've already brought in your senior quarterback who started the season as your starter, but has moved to a backup role. He's now had a series at offense.
You almost have to. Did you see the paper today that a coach in New Jersey got suspended for one game for running the score up?
He beat it,
and the coach on there seemed to say he didn't he didn't feel like he did anything wrong.
He beat an undefeated team.
It
was the losing
63 to 19 or something. Went into the fourth quarter up 5 scores, and that's where the commission, they'd never done it before, but they did this time. They suspend him. So you got to watch out if you're Bolden here. And Bolden, when he was at Coleraine, had no problem putting some distance between him and his opponent, no matter what the score was.
So we'll see what they do here. So the player tried to field it. It bounced off him. The clock would start when it hit their player. It bounced around. By the time they fell on it, for whatever reason, only 2 seconds ran off the clock. So I don't know.
Talk to our clock operator.
Yeah, I guess they are.
Home.
I wasn't sure if the officials were going to use their own.
If you're the home clock operator, you got to turn the thing on 2 seconds before it hits the guy.
Yeah,
you got to get that clock rolling before it even happens.
So if you're Middletown, I think you just down the ball here, right?
Well, no, I think I'd look at the screen to 5.
I mean, their quarterback's been crushed. They just had another player injured. Do you really want to? We'll see.
I like Josh Brown. I would look for him just because of speed. Why just put it? Yeah, why do that though? Just give us a number 5. Let him, maybe he breaks a tackle. We're not going to catch him.
So here we are at the end of the first half. The score: Lakota West 31, Middletown 7.
We'll be back after halftime to bring you the rest of the action here at Firebird Field.
The Westchester Fire Department reminds you to change your batteries and your smoke alarms and your carbon monoxide detectors this weekend when the clocks change. Thanks to technology, most clocks, like the one on your cell phone, will change automatically. Even the clock tower here at the square changes automatically. But batteries won't replace themselves. So when the time changes this weekend, please take time to change your batteries and test your smoke alarms. This simple task could save lives.
Welcome back to Lakota West, Firebird Stadium, as the Firebirds of Lakota have a 31-7 lead over the Middies of Middletown. Brent, I think you have some stats you want to go over, but it was pretty much a complete domination of Lakota West defense, but I'll let you fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I think it was a domination from all sides of the ball. Lakota West had 37 offensive plays for almost 200 yards, 194 yards. Good mixture, 109 yards rushing and 85 yards passing. Versus Middletown had a total of only 18 plays and only 84 yards, including, as you recall, the one touchdown was a 76-yard play. So other than that one touchdown, there wasn't a lot to talk about.
12 yards-ish.
Even go the other direction, Lakota West punted, just a couple of times and had some great success there. Caudell had a 55-yarder, and he also had a 35-yarder, but it pinned him down inside the 10-yard line. So 2 great punts from Caudell, whereas on the other side, Middletown, 2 punts. The long was 10 yards. So
That's
he had
a problem.
He had a 3-yard punt and a 10-yard punt.
13 for a 6.5-yard average on punting.
Other than the 76-yard touchdown catch and run from Bryant, and he actually had 4 returns for 76 yards as well on kick returns. The only other statistic with any positivity from Middletown is Cameron Jr., number 3, a junior, 11 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 tackles for loss in the first half. I mean, that's a game.
That's a game right there.
And
for
a good
most
game.
People, yeah.
A good game for most
Cameron
people.
already leads the GMC in tackles at 7 a game. He's well past that. He's not going to hurt himself on that statistic with 11 in the first half. But unfortunately, like you said, West ran 37 plays, so Cameron Jr. is getting quite a few opportunities to get a tackle.
So Josh Lane, who nailed the 39-yard field goal, nailed 4 extra points, will be kicking off. The other good positive statistics for Lakota West, David Afari did have 41 yards on 10 carries, but that puts him within 70 yards of his second potential 1,000-yard season.
Right, needs 70 yards second half. And David Afari is also chasing the all-time season record for touchdowns, chasing the record holder in almost every category, Mike Lovell, from 02, has 22 touchdowns in the season. David Afari has 19 with the touchdown he got tonight, so he's 3 behind, with at least a half, or with a minimum 6 quarters of football left in his career at Lakota West.
We had Josh Lane, the senior, kick the ball, and it looks like they're number 5 Bryant, who had the long pass reception and 4 nice returns. They kicked it. He did, they kicked it on the ground. He fielded it, almost broke loose. I think actually Lane came through the bottom of the pile there and tripped him up.
Thank goodness.
But was able to advance that ball out past the 35-yard line, so it'll be 1st and 10 Middletown from their own 37-yard line here to start the second half.
Yeah, I'd be doing everything I could to kick away from 5 or keep 5 away from the ball, period.
So as we went the entire first half, we've just had here in the second half from the first play, quarterback goes back to pass and is immediately pressured.
And is hurt.
And, and he did go down at least once pretty significantly in the first half.
Yeah, I feel bad for this quarterback. Every time he can't even set up, and there off the left side comes Garrett and gets another sack.
Yeah, Garen Carter, again, and as you mentioned, he's had a nice season this year getting to the quarterback, and he's just been one of many tonight for Lakota West. Heck, we've had the defensive line putting the pressure, let alone the guys coming from the outside or the linebackers. So there's...
Yeah, I'm going to have Bob actually look at sack records for a season, because Garen's got to be getting pretty close. I mean, that's his 6th or 7th sack on the year, so he's doing pretty well from that perspective.
So that was 7. Kamari 4, who looked like he maybe got his feet injured a little bit there, tangled up in that tackle. So we'll see what happens here. Look, Middletown's going to have to change the quarterback up for at least a play. A little bit of a low snap. Whoever took the snap there decided to try to run the ball right up the middle, and I hope number 5 there for Middletown took the snap. Now
we talked about why not just let him go.
So that's Josh Bryant, as we talked about him earlier. But boy, a lineman and a back are both injured on this play for Middletown. And number 9
are mounting up.
Number 9, Cheek Fall, is having a little bit of a difficult time getting back off the ground. Yikes! That's what you definitely don't want to see. I mean, the game's already out of reach at 31-7. Middletown has shown nothing on the offensive side. Somehow in this pile up, number 9 must have got...
You see him right there, 57. He's slow to get up too.
Yeah,
they got tangled up, and then both of them don't come up.
No, there's number 9. He came into the play late. I don't know what happened to him. So here he is blocking on the left side. You see him all the way back here, blocking Kuwatch, number 33. There he is. Oh, I don't know if does he step on Kuwatch's foot and maybe roll his ankle or something?
I don't know. I can't quite figure it out. I didn't even see him.
Because he's not in the play. You'll see him coming around. You'll see him blocking. Here he is blocking 33 Kuwatch. There he is. He's number 9, still pushing him. Maybe he steps right on Kuwatch's foot there and rolls it, because
there's nothing wrong with him.
But it looks like he's getting himself off the field. So
let the play go through there.
So here goes. So 3rd and about 16 for Middletown. So unfortunately, after a nice kick return to start the half, they've gone backwards in 2 plays.
Boy, the Middies are losing players at a pretty great clip right now.
4 receivers wide right, 1 wide left, and of course that means
Fuller's back in.
Means no tight ends and no backs in the backfield. So here we go. He's back to pass, going to throw it quick. And boy, David Jones, number 12, saw that. It looked like he had the coverage on that guy.
Oh, yeah.
Nobody was there to block him. They had three other receivers out there to block, but there were 5
And that
Dakota
was
West
Bryant
players.
again. They're just trying to get him out on the screen, see if they can bust him loose. And that is Middletown's best opportunity.
Yeah, so you're going to see he's actually going to catch this pass behind 3 other receivers, going to try to make a move. David Jones doesn't let him do anything. He actually ends up losing a yard on that, so it's 4th and 17. Another nice defensive series to start the second half for Lakota West. You expect if Lakota West can score, we'll start seeing a host of other players for Lakota West. Finally, a decent punt caught. Wow. Okay, so the punt was caught by number 2, Alex Afari. It was a knuckleball coming off the foot.
It was more than 10 yards.
Yeah, it sure was. It got downfield a little bit. Afari kind of stumbled forward to catch it, and then one of the Middletown players stumbled over the top of him. The crowd thought perhaps that should have been a penalty since he was already down, but it looked from my angle like perhaps they all were just kind of stumbling around.
I don't think there was any intent there, and I'm pretty sure at 31-7, you're not going to see officials piling on and calling 15-yard penalties.
And when it's a knuckleball punt high, only like 25 yards downfield, everybody's a little out. Oh, snap to Bolden, but it went right through his hands up in the air, and he did catch it.
And there's that problem again. I mean, that's been the biggest issue of Bolden fumbling.
Yeah,
the football.
we'll see where the ball is. We don't want to
exchange.
blame him. It's definitely a high snap.
Right in the helmet.
Yeah, definitely a high snap here, and he was able to get one hand on it.
But not a terrible snap. It just got up into his face, and Bolden, I don't know if he wasn't looking at the ball or what, but it came back at him in the head.
Had to make the over-the-shoulder Willie Mays style catch. Was able to catch it, but by that time, of course, Middletown had already attacked the ball. So it's going to be a loss of 8 on that play for Lakota West. It'll be 2nd and 18 for them from their now back to the 37-yard line. Here we go again. Bolden did not finish the last series, right? They had senior Caudell in there. Here goes Alex Afari downfield. The ball was to the outside.
Kind of behind him. He was looking inside. That's a tough catch. But, Afari's going to make that adjustment. I think the quarterback threw it the only place that he could catch it.
So Afari was looking to the inside. You'll see him here. Then, now he spins all the way around, back to the outside, and then back around. And wasn't a perfect.
I think it was good. I think Afari just did not make a good adjustment. That was a well-thrown ball. Quarterback put it where only Afari could catch it. Afari just didn't spin quick enough.
Yeah, very, very rarely moving backwards is the right formation to catch a pass downfield.
I don't know that he saw that ball away or what, because he's running backwards, trying to turn.
So 3rd and 18 for Lakota West. Bolden back to pass. And remember, he was out that last series. They had Caudell in there. Good pass to Afari. Catches the ball for a nice gain out to midfield. It's still going to be short of the first down.
Though.
Yeah, it's going to be 4th and about 4 or 5, probably a full 5 by the time they spot it.
And I think Bolden, if he wants to get home early to his family and see how he goes, I mean, the next score Lakota West gets is going to go to a running clock.
So here's number 2, Alex Afari, catches the ball there, tries to spin back the other direction. The defender there, 18, reached in and almost knocked the ball, or did knock it loose, almost knocked it out of his hands. That was Kylan McGill. But they are lined up to punt.
They are going to go ahead and punt the ball.
So we'll see what happens here. If Mr. Caudell can keep his good punting, and see if it hits the ground, it's probably going to be another nice punt. It is. There it is inside the 10, moving toward the 5. I tell you, Dan has been an all-American punter today.
He's been a weapon. He really has. I mean, everything he's punted, he's putting it back against. The field position changed both ways. I mean, he had that really nice 55-yarder to get West that was backed up against their end zone, flipped the field completely for West, and now this is the second time he's put the ball down around the 5-yard line.
So he punted from in Middletown territory and was able to kick it inside the 10-yard line.
Right.
Here the ball rolls dead inside the 6 from midfield. So not only does he put him at the 6, but it's a 44-yard punt. So
and it puts Middletown back. Middletown, this is not good for them. Already down, 31-7, back at the 5-yard line. This is not where Middletown wants to be playing either, because West penetration and the defense, they've only broken down one time.
So as you mentioned, 7, 4, and 5 Bryant in the backfield for Middletown, and that's what it is. The forward to Bryant runs the ball forward a little bit.
It's about 11 yards out of it. But
so we'll see where they
Kolsick brought him down.
So if he got out to the 11, that's a gain of about 6. So it'll be 2nd and 4. Actually, that's a pretty good play for Middletown to get a 6-yard gain, or a quick throw out to the sideline. We'll see. It looks like it's going to be close to the first down out there. And they're moving the chain. So 2 plays and a first down so far. So that's maybe that's a good, it would be nice to see if Middletown could put some plays together here and get a little bit of confidence going. I mean, obviously it's been a tough season for them.
Now, if your name is Gray. He don't want to see anybody do anything.
So there it is, running the ball up the middle again. Another nice gain.
Yeah, Carlton Gray would like to see this. Would like to see that they're not gaining another yard the entire rest of the game.
There you go. That's Bryant, number 5 again. Gain of 8 on that play. So, boy, starting from their 6-yard line, they're already out to the 25-yard line in 3 plays.
And West does look like they still have their starters in.
Yeah, 2nd and 2. See Will Barber out here, 26 out wide. We're going to see 10 Cy Walters and 8 Truman Mason on this side. There goes Noah Smith, 14, coming off the end. Good nice shoulder throw, as they call it, right?
Yes, it is.
And Hunter Anderson, 21, takes down the receiver, number 13, Elijah Rockhold.
Had decent coverage. Great pass by Florida that time. Putting the ball on the back shoulder, and Middletown's receiver stopped, came back, got it, and almost broke it.
Yeah, Elijah Rockhold with the catch and run. So first down, Middletown at the Lakota West 46-yard line.
This has got to be the first time they've been in West territory.
Yeah, the 76-yard touchdown play is Roy.
I mean, besides that, they have not. They've been down inside, because of Caudell's punting, they've been down inside their own 4 or 5 yard line the entire game. So they've moved it out finally.
So Bryant loses 2 on that run. And actually, I think this may be the first series where they put more than 1 first down together in the same series.
Yeah, how many Middletown had total first downs? They had
3.
3. Wow.
So here we go.
I think one of those came on a penalty, 15-yard penalty.
You're absolutely right. 2nd and 12 for Middletown. Still just barely in Lakota West territory. Here they come. Noah Smith, 14, putting some late pressure on it. Will Barber, 26, in coverage out here, but the ball was thrown toward number 80 for Middletown. That's DeMarco Powell. The ball was overthrown out of bounds.
Yeah, but he was under great pressure again.
He
has not thrown a football tonight without, even on the screenplays, they got people bearing down on him.
It looked like number 90, Andre Profit, was putting some pressure on him from the inside
Garen
that time.
Carter, all of them have just put that.
Jake Kiefer, 97.
Jake Kiefer, 97's had a great game.
And that's the 3 guys lined up on the defensive line right now.
And those guys have played a whale of a game today.
So 3rd and 12 for Middletown. Still four receivers.
And whatever they don't get, Jones is cleaned up and Kolosic's tackled. So linebacker, the front 7 have played a whale of a game tonight. And
good run by Bryant.
Oh, wow. There, you better get him.
Yeah, that's Cy Walters, number 10, with the tackle on
Safety
Bryant.
finally comes over and gets him after a nice run, gets him inside about to the 26, 27-yard line.
So from 3rd and 12, first down for Middletown.
But Cy was lucky. I think Bryant was about 2 steps away from being a touchdown because once he gets out there, he's gone. So Walters did a good job making a diving stop to shut him down.
1st and 10 from the Lakota West 27-yard line. Snap back to 4. Hands to Bryant again. Good job. They're getting through the initial.
Yeah, they found something here because they're breaking through the line.
They're creasing them a little bit. I don't know if the defensive line was so focused on getting to the quarterback that maybe they lost a little bit of their responsibilities, their discipline. We'll see what happens here. That was another nice gain for them. Now the quarterback back to pass, and interestingly enough, not a lot of pressure this time. He extends the ball forward. We'll see where they mark him out of bounds. Looks like they're going to mark him just short. So it looks like we're going to be 3rd and 1.
You see this defense, like you see right there, Garen Carter walking with hands on his hips, looking a little tired. Yeah. But this is about the longest they've been on the field all night. I mean, this is the first time Middletown has ventured into West territory with the football, and they're moving the ball pretty good inside the 20-yard line in the red zone.
So here we go back. There's 4. Hands to Brian again. It's really, they've gone to, and he's going to have enough for the first down and more.
Way more.
First down inside the 13-yard line. Kolosic on the tackle there. Noah Smith, 14, also involved. This looks like more of a traditional series.
Yeah.
I mean, they're back. They're handing the ball off. It looks like they're just trying to block.
I'm not sure what they've found here. I'm trying to figure out, but they're running mostly off the right side, and they're picking up good yardage. I mean, the front 4 is missing, or front 7 really.
There it is again, Bryant, and it looked
not
like
that time.
Might have been David Jones, 12, or let's see, Jackson Kuwatch, 33. And Cy Walters, 10, all
came up, make the play,
involved there.
But a good job making contain, and they didn't let him get outside at all and forced it back up in the rush, back into the rush, where he had nowhere to go. So he picks up a yard on that one.
So it'll be 2nd and 9 from the 12-yard line.
And West is hoping to keep him out of the end zone. The reason is again, the next score, you go to a running clock, and this game will get over pretty quickly at that point.
So we'll see what happens. They remain in this formation with 4, in shotgun and I guess the old pistol type thing. They play action. So that's interesting.
Interception.
But I think we're going to have a pass interference. I don't know if it is or isn't. There's Hunter Anderson still on his feet. He's out to midfield. Laterals it forward backwards to his teammate. I think that was. So we're going to see.
That was dangerous, and the coaches are going to go, "What the heck are you doing?"
So I think they're going to call pass interference on Hunter Anderson down near the goal line.
I didn't see. You see a flag come out?
Yeah, they threw a flag, and I don't know. It looked like the receiver just stumbled on his own. That's why Hunter Anderson was wide open for the interception. That is his second interception. Although, like I said, I'm afraid it's going to go away. Here's the call.
Oh pass interference. Good call, Brent.
Yeah, we'll see what happened. I didn't quite see what happens. It looks like Hunter Anderson just jammed him.
He fell down. I don't see where, unless he's hitting him here.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess he could have pushed him down. I don't know. But that's awful tough call. I mean, the guy fell down, but I'm not sure if that's his fault.
Yeah, and I'm also not 100% sure the ball was even in the air yet at that point.
Yeah, well, I don't think that matters anymore. You're not allowed to touch anybody after 5 yards, and well, heck, anymore in football, you're not allowed to touch the receivers at all. You might as well just let them go run free and,
you can jam them all you want at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, but after 5 yards, you got to let them go.
So the result here is going to be second and 2.
That tells you your age, Brent, because that was the old rule on pass interference is the ball had to be in the air.
Well, it's actually an illegal contact if it's not still, but there is. So
Middletown trying to score.
Yeah, so that was 2nd and 3 from the 6-yard line. They just passed the ball. Looks like it's definitely going to be 1st and goal. We'll see where it's spotted. Looks like they're stopping the. Yep, so it's going to be a 1st and goal from the 2-yard line for Middletown.
And that's tough. I mean, West, I think, is trying to keep them off the board for sure. There's 4 minutes left in the second quarter, so the times are going pretty quick.
And it still this looks like we're talking one-on-ones. I mean, we still see the Lakota West starters out there.
Oh,
so
yeah,
let's give a little credit to Middletown. They were able to find something in that locker room at halftime. Wow. So they faked the handoff to Bryant, then pulled it out, bobbled a little bit. And there you see 97 Jake Kiefer and 37 Isaac Kolosik took him down for a 3-yard loss back to the 5-yard line.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the entire defensive line and a couple of linebackers got there at about the same time. That play was not a very good-looking play.
Yeah, he ran right into Jake Kiefer. Jake Kiefer
pulled
got
it
inside.
And, Kiefer, I'm not sure what he was reading there.
Kolosik, you see his helmet, right? You see. So, actually, Kolosik on the very inside and then Kiefer right there. So, yeah, that wasn't wow. That wasn't
97 having a nice game tonight. He's been in break. They're having to block him with two players, and they're not even stopping him there.
Hands the ball off to Bryant again. Runs the ball. He's trying to keep his feet, keep him moving. Looks like he got back close to the original line of scrimmage around the 2.5 yard line. So we're going to be 3rd and goal
from the 2.5
from somewhere in there. We'll see where they spot him for sure.
Yeah, I'm surprised they haven't tried just a pitch or something to Bryant and let him try and sprint to the pylon, because I don't think anybody can catch him. If you just catch him on a little quick pitch or put him in motion and hand it off on the jet sweep and let him just try and run to that pylon, I think would be their best bet right now, because I don't think anybody on West is fast enough to get, stop him in 2.5 yards.
West has some speed.
And West has a lot of speed, but this 5 is, I'm guessing he's a GMC sprinter.
So here we go. Here, we're going to see 4 rolls right. Good pressure. Ball's tipped in the air and caught. Oh, he will get the catch. He bobbled it the second time again there. But number 4, so Will Williams, a 6'3", 190-pound sophomore, catches the deflection for the Middletown touchdown.
He was in the right place at the right time because he was not throwing to 4. The ball just gets deflected off everybody. And
4 makes a nice little –
he does.
I'm sorry, 4. Williams makes a nice catch kind of over his shoulder there. So
yeah, Will Williams, I like that.
Looked like he bobbled a little bit, but was able to maintain possession. So Middletown, I mean, that's got to be some good positive play. I mean, started back in their own territory. I don't know if that's designed or it was just a tough snap, but the holder, number 25, rolled out to the right. John J.C. Calhoun rolled out to the right. He is a backup quarterback as well. Tried to throw the ball for the 2-point conversion unsuccessfully. So with 2:45 to go in the third quarter, Lakota West 31. And the Middletown Middies 13. We'll see what that is.
No, he stood up immediately. It looked almost like it was a design play. And you got everybody and their brother. And West does a good job on the special teams covering this. There's more West guys out there than there are Middies, and that's a good sign.
I think even if he caught it, he was still around the 1 yard line.
I don't think you'd
with
got in.
2 players behind, defenders blocking his view. So we'll see this touchdown again. But you're right. So the quarterback rolls right.
He's looking
throws
for
the
number,
ball.
yeah, for 25.
And actually,
And
Cy
almost gets
Walters,
intercepted.
Cy Walters, number 10, tips it in the air, and number 4, Will Williams, makes a catch there in the back. Ball's
But yeah, that's
little-
a shame. That was almost intercepted.
Yeah,
for the
number
second
10.
time, Cy Walters almost had it intercepted. It goes off his hands. That's why they play defense, though. They can't catch.
So we'll see what happens here. We've got, with 2:45 to go, Lakota West is going to have another kick return. So see if they can make something happen here.
Second one of the game.
Because what you don't want to do is get sloppy and get bad habits before the playoffs
Right,
next week,
that's right.
And that's the only fear when you get such a big early lead, is that
You want to take your eyes off the clock right here. I mean,
you get so focused
West
on
has
getting
had
seniors.
its issues. Yeah, West has had its issues this year in the second half anyway of not playing well. So you're right. This is a good time with playoffs coming to make sure you keep your focus, put on the pedal, and go. You don't want to don't worry about the clock. Just do your job.
You've had your senior backup quarterback get some plays. You've had your senior linebacker run the ball for a touchdown. So you're accomplishing some things, but the key is there you don't want to get bad habits going here. So see if Lakota West can regroup and put something back together.
Middletown kicker, not much. They line up to return us on the 20-yard line.
Yeah, he hasn't kicked it very deep yet. And the argument, good play there by number 2, Alex Safari. The ball got over his head, and he just hit it out of bounds.
Yeah, smart play, and there you go. So West is going to get the ball with 2:45 left in the third quarter. Middletown chops into the lead a little bit to turn this 31-13 game. It's dyslexic football here. As you have 31, look at it in the mirror. It's 13. That's what you got. 31-13 Middletown's just cut into that score. West was close to getting a running clock. Had they scored on that last possession, the clock would have just ran until Middletown scored here. So anyway, long story short, West going to come out here, still running its starters out here with a lead. Yeah, they're going to keep them out there. My guess is they'll keep them out there until halfway through the fourth quarter, no matter what the score
And let's
is.
talk about them again. You'll see on the top of the screen there, that's number 19, senior Xander Nitz at wide receiver. We can see some guys turning there. You got 44, that's Ben Martin, a senior. 77 is a sophomore, Tegra Shaboa. I think that was an illegal substitution call.
Yes.
So 5-yard penalty to start it. Again, not looking pretty here. A little bit of sloppiness from Lakota West. See if they can get their ship righted. There you see number 63 on the offensive line.
The ship. Oh, okay.
Yeah, their ship
I
righted.
thought you were talking about something else together. So, they're struggling. For whatever reason, West has struggled in the second half with its just kind of discipline. It kind of falls apart a little bit. Scored 31 points in the first half. They had a series, couldn't really move it. Had some penalties, had some bad things happen, fumbles, and turned the ball over to Middletown, who just ran it right down their throat and scored.
So I'm not exactly sure what happened there. They called a legal procedure, but we're now at 1st and 10, but back at the 25 instead of the 30. So we'll see what happens. Hand the ball right up the middle to number 23, Aiden Miller. Aiden Miller looks like he advances it just a couple yards through the middle. We will try to talk about some of these other guys. You see number 63, Brady James on the offensive line there. Number 55, Aaron Thomas.
Yeah, my guess is you're not going to see too much in the way of throwing the football. They don't want to extend the game, for one thing. And second, they're going to try and run the ball, I think, with Afari and Aiden Jones and Rencher and those guys just to keep the clock running.
So Afari comes in motion, and wow, David Afari does a nice job of avoiding the initial defender in the backfield.
Yeah, he was hit for
Usually
about a 4
when we
or 5
see
yard
that,
loss.
it's number 3, Junior.
Yeah, it's and his
No,
not that
33.
time. 3 squared that time got him in there, but he did a good job getting off of him and picking up good yards. I mean,
So
he
they're-
was down.
So that's going to make it a 3rd and 2. You see 84, Bain Allen coming onto the field, a senior. Making sure
Riesenberg comes off and Nitz comes in.
Matthew
19.
Kruger, number 65, you see out there. 75, Cole Stafford. 25, of course, is freshman Mitch Bolden. 23 is Aiden Miller. He's a sophomore. Try to point number 1, David Afari is a senior who's committed to Miami as a
I would
football
guess
player.
Miller will be the running back. Oh, there's that fumble again on exchange. It's like the 3rd time tonight.
So that's going to end up being, instead of 3rd and 2, handing the ball off,
It's 4th down.
it's now going to be 4th and probably 3 or 4 where
I can't see him going for it here.
where
Can
Matt
you?
Bolden or Mitch Bolden,
Here
I'm sorry,
here comes
fell on it.
Caudell.
No, you got to punt. And actually, Caudell has been
A weapon.
a weapon. He's been a weapon. I mean, he's punted it. And typically, last time he punted the ball from, somewhere back like this in his territory, he kicked it over 50 yards and
55
flipped the
yards
field.
to the 20 and flipped the field.
So interestingly, though, the return man in a single safety is at his own 41-yard line.
Well, the ball's not gone far in the air for him. He's got some great roll on these punts, and that's another one.
Certainly kicked it past that point.
Why would he catch that?
So for whatever the reason, Lakota West downs the ball at the 35-yard line.
If he lets that go, it probably rolls another 5-6 yards.
So it'll be first and 10. We do have an injured player for Middletown way back at the Lakota West 34, 35-yard line, grabbing his shin or his ankle. I can't tell exactly what he hurt there, but he's definitely in some real discomfort. That's Cameron Cooper, a 5'10", 200-pound junior. Not sure what happened to him. A captain, way away from the ball. I mean, that's
How do you know he's a captain?
there's a C on his shirt.
Oh, never noticed that.
Yeah, right on his chest.
That's usually a captain.
I guess I took for granted that if you Middletown middies, a C would indicate captain because
I would think so.
Unless maybe Dan, his name is Cooper, so
put
maybe
the
that's
C
a
there.
C
Could
for his
be.
name.
Could be. But I would say C on the jersey is a captain. That's 90% of when you see that they're captains. But they just knocked the captain out, junior.
Yeah,
Number 8, it's hard to see that.
yeah, I'm not sure what
Cameron
happened.
Cooper.
Again, not sure exactly what happened to him there. He was definitely in a lot of discomfort, walking, keeping that left leg in the air, as you can see. So, yeah.
Maybe, I'm telling you, Middletown's going to have trouble having, enough players to play the rest of the game the way this is going.
Definitely.
They've got 2 or 3 players going out a play.
So 37 seconds ago in the third quarter, Middletown just went right down the field last series and scored. They did have the benefit of a interception called back against Lakota West.
Which was highly questionable. My replay, I didn't, unless he pushed him before the ball was in the air, something, because to me it looked like the kid just fell on his own.
So here we go back for hands off to Bryant. So some things don't change. 4 handed off to Bryant, and number 97, Jake Kiefer, was there in the backfield. It did look like Bryant, number 5, was able to avoid the initial tackle, and then number 33, Jackson Kuwach, came in and actually threw him for 2 or 3 more yard loss. So
and Kuwach comes up limping pretty hard. I guess he's going to stay. Is he staying? Nope, he's coming out.
So we'll see what happens here, though. There's only 12 seconds on a running clock right now in the third quarter. So Calhoun, a senior, came in for Kuwach, who gets out, limped out of the game. So at the end of 3 quarters here from Firebird Stadium, Lakota West still leads 31, Middletown 13. We'll be right back.
Westchester has grown from seeds first sown by farmers and tradespeople, drawn here by the beauty of the land and the promise of opportunity. Westchester provided these early settlers with the chance to thrive and prosper. They built homes, schools, businesses, and with it, they built a sense of community. Today, Westchester is more sophisticated and polished, ideally situated with highway access, exceptional schools, beautiful neighborhoods, and welcoming neighbors. It may not be a small town anymore, but neighborhood block parties, school programs, thriving businesses, and community events remind us that Westchester is our hometown. Westchester welcomes everyone.
I see the potential this township has for me.
The heart of our community lives inside the people who are making their best life in one of America's best places to live.
I have spent my entire life living in Westchester. It means less about having a house and more about feeling at home.
Whether you're a small business or Fortune 500 company, Westchester rolls out the red carpet to every business.
Westchester is what it is on purpose, a place of promise and opportunity, a place where families grow and businesses prosper. Proactive, collaborative, enthusiastic, welcoming.
Welcome back to Lakota West Stadium after that short break. And I'm Dan Zeverick. I'm here with Brent Phelan. We're bringing you the Lakota West Middletown game, last game of the season, before West goes into the 11th week of the playoffs. West dominated, quite dominating performance here by the Lakota West Firebirds. Middletown did in their last drive put together a nice drive. Drove, I think, 95 yards. Wasn't that on the 5?
And that was their first drive.
Yeah, that was the first time they've drove it 95 yards. They only had about 80 yards in the first half, 84 yards, and that was all on a 76-yard screenplay. So they had one play that covered 76 of their 84 yards. But they did put a nice drive, Brent, and together, and they've stopped West now twice in the second half. Who really in the first half they didn't stop at all. I mean, West had their way, did whatever they wanted, got called for penalties, but made them up. And I don't know if West is taking their eye off the ball right now. If they're not as excited, the emotional levels drop because they've got this 31-13 lead. They were one score away from a running clock, and now Middletown
back to pass four. And interestingly enough there, so you saw Will Barber, number 26, was actually waiting on the ball, thinking he had a chance at the interception. The receiver, number 4, Will Williams, who had the touchdown catch for them earlier this half, actually became the defender and was able to knock the ball away from full.
It was a nice pass. I mean,
Barber.
it was only where I think Barber was going to catch it. He couldn't catch it, but he knocked it away. So nice job there. Fuller releasing that ball in about 2.5 seconds. I mean, he did not. He does not have time to throw the ball, other than just drop back and throw to a spot and hope that one of the middies run underneath it, because he doesn't have time to go through a second or third progression.
So 3rd and 20 for Middletown. Before the end of the quarter, they had that big loss on the first down play. Quarterback being pressured again. He does square his body, throws the ball downfield, and good defense. It was a nice play, number 25 for Middletown. The intended receiver, John J.C. Calhoun, and looked like we saw number 8, Truman Mason down there.
Along with Jones was out there, too.
David Jones, number 12, so that's going to force a punt. So a little better there, right, for Lakota West. I mean, a 3 and out. The first play, they tackled him for a 10-yard loss.
Garen Carter had put pressure on him, too. I mean, he basically shed 2 defenders, had forced Fuller out of the pocket, and he was running to his left-hand side and just couldn't, get any accuracy on that. So give an assist to Garen Carter on that.
So back to punt. This has been, here's one of those. The punt backed up again on him. Second time that's happened to him. It was 4th and 20, and with the punt, that would have been a first down. A punt of about 22 yards, 23 yards, man. Now they're going to mark it about 24 yards. So
you wonder if it's not better for Middletown just to drop back on 4th down, throw an interception. 40 yards, 30 yards, and just go, hey, tackle him right away.
Well, the punter, cut him a little bit of slack. I mean, he had 2 punts in the first half, one for 3 yards, one for 10 yards, and no, they weren't blocked. That punt was 25 yards. The earlier one was probably 25, 30 yards. So at least
up in the average.
Yeah, they're not what you're looking for from a punt, but not terrible after a pretty frustrating first half for them. See Bolden coming this way, running the option, pitches the ball to Afari. Afari does a nice cutback, going to gain about 5 or 6 yards. And again, knowing that they have playoffs next week, I don't think that they're that focused on making sure that David gets the 70 yards that gets him to 1,000. I think they'll,
16 Kellen Davis, who's listed as a quarterback, came in and put a pretty good pop on him out of his safety position.
So it's going to be 2nd and 4. See what happens here.
Boy, 5 Conley does everything. He's in here on defense, too, number 5, Bryant. He's their offense, and he's
Bolden's going to keep the ball for the first down. Going to advance at about 5 yards.
That's the first time he's run tonight, isn't it?
That is.
I'm pretty sure
that's the first time
he's
actually
have any rushes in the first half.
I mean, that's the first time. Right. He's been tackled or fallen on fumbled snaps and different things before, but the first play that he truly.
I thought for sure at some point when they needed some yardage or something, they would run that jet sweep and let him keep the ball, because Middletown has seen the films and knows Afari and Riesenberg and those guys run that pretty often and pretty well. They're not even looking at him off the backside as they give straight dive up the middle with
Aiden Miller.
Aiden Miller's giving them a really nice shot.
Yeah, he had 3 nice carries in the first half. Had 37 yards on just 3 carries.
Yeah, he was 7 carries less than Afari, and
only 4 yards less.
4 yards less. So he's very productive when he touches the ball.
So that was pretty good off the ball by the offensive line there. Nice one-on-one tackle there, so gain of only 3 on the play. They're going to try that same play again. Miller does a nice little cutback. He's going to get the first down. Looks like he's going to advance it just about the 7 yards they need. You see the officials moving the chains. So, again, nice job from the offensive line there, and a nice
I like
run by
the
Miller.
offensive play calls too, Brent. I mean, they're keeping them off balance, and they're giving it to different kids. And, you know, Middletown doesn't know what they're going to do. You know, it could go anywhere. Aiden Miller's back there doing well. You still have Afari lurking anywhere, and you can always get the ball to Afari.
Yeah, and we haven't seen Riesenberg for a while here. He's made some plays, but he's at the other wing.
And you got
see him over
Afari
to the
playing
right.
wide receiver right now.
So here they come. They're going to up.
There was nothing there.
Yeah,
they had that defended well.
So Bolden faked the handoff up the middle, was going to try to roll right and option with Afari coming around.
Yeah, they were running option into the boundary, but there was nothing there, and that was defended really well.
Defense was there, and Bolden, discretion being the better part of valor, just tucked the ball for a 2 or 3
his
yard
only
loss.
option would have been to give the ball off to the dive back, and he might have got to the line of scrimmage or maybe a yard. So Bolden lost a yard on that or 2, but you know he didn't fumble. No problems with that. Live to fight another day.
So here we go, 2nd and 13 for Lakota West. 8:57 to go in the 4th quarter. They're still leading 31-13. Haven't put any points on the board yet this half. There, Riesenberg coming around on the outside. Wide open down the middle. I think that's Aaron Boyd, number 3. No, Aaron Boyd.
It is Boyd 3.
Aaron Boyd, number 3,
Well, he
with the
ran
touchdown.
a seam route and was wide open.
Yeah, you know, and that was the thing. I mean, obviously, Middletown was committing to stop all the run.
Yep.
They weren't going to let him keep running the ball. Play action.
Right over top. And well, the crazy thing about this is, from a coaching, when you're coaching defensive backs, if a kid runs by you, where the hell you think he's going? If he's not blocking you, he's going out for a pass. And that was a typical. He just ran right by the Middletown safeties, and they let him go, and he was wide open. And Mitch Bolden does a nice job just getting the ball. All he had to do is get the ball out there.
So there's Josh Lane with the extra point, his 5th extra point of the night. The nice thing there for Aaron Boyd, we see number 3, Aaron Boyd. He's a senior. We see him mostly on special teams, right? He's back there in the twin safeties on punts. He's back there on kick returns with each of the different Afaris, right? With punts with Alex and with kickoffs with David. Nice to see him as a senior here in his final home game to get that nice touchdown pass.
Yes.
And as you said, nice pass from Mitch Bolden, the freshman. So freshman to the senior for a touchdown. And we're going to see this to put Lakota West up 38-13.
If you look at the top of your screen right there from the slot position, he just goes running out there. He runs right by the safeties. They didn't touch him. They didn't go with him. He didn't try and block anybody. The safety just released him, and you can't let anybody get behind you like that. That's a sacred no-no on the defensive side, I'm sure. Well, I guess they won't really be having a film
Probably
session
won't
on
watch a lot of
Monday.
film.
I doubt this is it, and it's equipment turning day for Middletown Middies tomorrow.
So here we go. Josh Lane's going to kick off. So, again, now 8:43. Lakota West up 38-13. I tell you, that quickly, you feel a little better again if you're Lakota West, right? You know, you had a nice drive. You moved the ball. You scored a touchdown. You were pretty lethargic through the 3rd quarter, or at least you felt like you didn't score any points after putting 31 on the board in the first half. No points there. So now we'll see if the defense can get themselves back together, or do you think we might see some other players?
I think you may see some other players at this point. 38-13, 8 minutes to go in the game. I'm guessing they start right about now with the 6-minute mark. They'll start changing. You may see the starting defense here, and it does look like the starting defense is going out there. But they won't last long. They'll get down to about 6 minutes, and I think he'll start subbing it halfway through the 4th quarter. This kind of a lead, you're up a lot. I mean, 35, 25.
Yep, 25. Nice return from J.C. Calhoun. Returned it out to about the 37-yard line. So 1st and 10, Middletown at that spot. As you mentioned, we still see mostly the starting lineup looks like out there for Lakota West, or at least the starting group anyway. There's a couple of those guys that are in and out, like Alex Afari out there at the corner. We see number 20 flip-flopping.
The defensive line and linebackers are all the same. Those are the starting group.
That's number 20. So we'll see what happens here. 4 still in there. Fakes up.
I don't know what happened.
You talk about confusion, but at the end of the day, Andre Profit for Lakota West ends up with the ball, advances it to the 13-yard line, 1st and 10 Lakota West on the fumble recovery.
There you go. There's one for him. He almost got there. Almost got him a defensive touchdown.
So that was kind of interesting. I mean, you saw the running back looking back saying, I didn't get the ball. The quarterback looking forward saying, I don't still have the ball. Where's the ball? And it was in the hands of number 90, Andre Profit.
Now, did you see what happened?
No, I want to see that again.
It
looked like it was the same, that read. And you know, Middletown forward to Bryant, they've had a little confusion a few times where the ball just almost comes loose. And I'm thinking Bryant thought the quarterback kept it, and the quarterback thought he gave it to Bryant. And it ends up in the hands of the defensive lineman.
Profit brings it back to the 13-yard line, almost comes over the touchdown, but nowhere near enough speed to outrun that Middletown.
Let's see the replay.
I'm not sure
here.
just what happened.
So literally,
it went up in his chest. He never really got it. He doesn't have it. Quarterback doesn't have it, and then Profit finds it on the ground. Merry Christmas, and just runs.
Fortunately,
it's a nice return.
Fortunately for number 7 and number 2, Deion Brown noticed that he was running the ball and were able to tackle him and saved the touchdown. So
he never had the ball; just hit him up in the chest. But it never got quite into the arms.
Well, and there you see it. Even the snap wasn't handled cleanly by the quarterback. It was still probably bobbling as he tried to hand it, and he handed it high, as you mentioned, to the running back. And
I was watching. I looked, and I didn't see. 5 didn't have the ball. I looked at the quarterback. He doesn't have the ball. I'm like, what?
And it was interesting. They were both
a fumble Ruski,
and they were both looking around like, "Where's the ball?
Where's the ball?" Everybody's looking for the ball, and Profit finds it.
It hit the ground. He was being blocked by an offensive lineman, who, while he was trying to pick the ball off the ground, the lineman obviously didn't see the ball. He picked it up. A defensive lineman knocked the blocker off him, and he advanced it down to the 13-yard line. So with 8:26 to go, once again, we've got 1st and 10 for Lakota West. Now, I do see a few different bodies out there. It looks like we see number 86 and 85 on the field. See who runs the ball right here. Oh, wow.
He got hit pretty good.
So see what they call here. The ball did come loose. The running back for Lakota West got hit hard. Looks like the offensive lineman for Lakota West, number 73, ended up recovering the ball. So at the end of the day, that's Lathan McComas recovered it. So the ball was, at the end of the day, they got a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, 3-yard gain, a fumble recovery.
But that was a whale of a hit. The running back for Lakota West cut through the middle. I think thought he had some.
I couldn't tell who that was, but he
Cudell is in at quarterback.
45 is running the football right now, and that's who I think ran the ball there, and he just got
senior running back Evan Dramus. It looks like there was a false start, a little bit of movement on Lakota West, so we're going to go back and make this about 2nd and 12 for them. But there is some new players out there. It's a mixture. It looks like the offensive line is still out there, but I see number 86. That's Aiden Hollins. In the game, I see 85. That's Ben Arthur out there. Again, Dan Caudell at quarterback. You mentioned we're going to try 45 again off to the left side. He's going to try to run that to the corner. One thing West has not had much success is outrunning Middletown's team speed to the outside. So that's going to make it 3rd and 13, maybe even 14.
Evan Dramus on the carry of that, number 45, a senior, getting his shot at, carrying the loaf, and he's going to feel that hit tomorrow because he got hit on that first run pretty hard. I don't know. I didn't see he was going to do it. My guess is it was going to be Junior because he's everywhere for them.
Because he makes most of the tackles.
Yeah, Cameron Junior. You just follow him and you'll get to the ball.
So here we go, 3rd and 13 by the time they finish spotting the ball. See what Caudell does this time with it. He's back. He fakes the handoff, rolls to the right, and wow. That would be Cameron Jr.
Cameron Jr. comes and just levels him.
Yeah, I think at that point Jr. said, you know what, I'm not. If he throws it, I can't do anything about it, so I am just going to hit him. So here's the first hit in the middle of the field. This was right up the middle. Looked like he made a little room.
And then boom, right in the helmet.
So
that's a penalty everywhere.
That's number 5, Bryant.
That's Bryant. Okay.
So and here we go. So now it's 4th down and long for Lakota West. They brought out the kicker, Josh Lane, to try a 42-yard field goal. So here he goes.
Yeah, 42 yards, it's a long field goal.
Made that 39-yard in the first half, no problem.
Hit it well.
Plenty of leg. It's good.
Good.
I'll tell you,
And that would have been good from a little farther. I mean, he hit that well.
So a 39 and a 42-yard field goal, which is that a big thing? Well, as you go into playoffs, it's sure nice to have in your pocket,
cold
right?
Cold weather gets here and hard to handle the ball, hard to throw in some rain and cold. So field goals can win a game for you. And if you got a guy who can kick a 45 on in pretty consistently, that's a big weapon to have. And certainly West has that in Lane. Nice kick there.
With Lane and Caudell, their kicking game tonight has been phenomenal.
It really has.
5 for 5 on extra points, 2 for 2 from field goals, 39 and 42, which aren't gimmies in high school.
No.
We've had the punting game has been phenomenal. He's kicked it long when they needed long, and he's kicked it, inside the 20 when they needed inside the 20. So it's really been a very, very positive, and that does get important, right? The farther you go, the games tend to get a little closer. And it tends to be important that you have those skills. And
this is interesting. On comes the most effective unit for Middletown, and that's been the kick return team. And actually, Bryant. He's been the biggest weapon for them all game.
And a big hit, even on the defense there.
And they've had quite a few opportunities, as West has put 5 touchdowns on the board, all scored by, different people.
So it's interesting with Bryant, right? He's run the ball. He's caught the ball out of the backfield. He has tackled from the safety position. He has returned kicks. He's definitely out there. I'm guessing.
When he graduates, it's going to be like losing 3 or 4 players because he does a lot for them. And
so Lane kicks the ball off the Middletown player, fortuitously for Middletown. One of the other players jumps right on it, so they're going to have first down in great field position, 43-yard line.
Was he just trying to roll that, or was he actually trying to kick it off of him and get a onside kick?
I think he was trying to roll it through there. That's what they've tried the last couple times. Unfortunately, it hit the guy, and the next guy fell on it. So 43-yard line, 1st and 10 for Middletown, 6:02 to go. Middletown trailing by 28 points, 41-13.
Yeah, a lot of times these guys will try to kick a real large, like an onside kick, real low, hard when especially if they don't have the hands team and stuff up there, trying to ricochet it off the guy.
So we'll see what happens here. Middletown's had a little more success. The last couple of times, although the last time actually it was a 3-and-out.
It was 3-and-out.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens here. But 3 receivers left, 1 right and 1 back in the backfield.
Got 1 in motion. They're going to run.
4 is going to roll right. You see Kiefer 97 in hot pursuit. Ball's thrown into the bleachers as the quarterback goes down. It looks like he's a little bit injured again.
Well, the full force of the body of 97 came down on him, which is Jake Kiefer. He's had a big game, but he came right on top of him.
Is there a penalty in the defensive backfield there around the 41-yard line?
We do have a flag. That's generally, a legal hit. Could be holding. Whatever it was, their quarterback has just had enough of getting hit by Kiefer and Garen Carter. He was slow getting up, but he is up. And he's had a heck of a night tonight. If he hadn't been sacked, he's been hurried and had to pull.
So they called pass interference on number 21, Hunter Anderson. Quarterback was rolling right, nowhere near anybody. I believe Hunter Anderson was the cornerback on this side, so I'm not sure exactly what was going on there. I guess he just had some, was continuing to be engaged with the receiver when the ball was thrown. It doesn't look like it was being thrown toward his receiver.
Nowhere near it.
But that is for the second one of those tonight, or third actually, I think, passing.
Another first down.
So another first down at the Lakota West 42-yard line, 1st and 10 for Middletown.
5:56 left to go.
Just going to run the ball straight up the middle with Bryant. Not much there, and probably got a generous 2 yards.
Yeah, you take away 30 yards of 2 penalties on West. Middletown's offense is extreme. Their numbers are extremely anemic.
Well, and then add the other pass interference that negated so not only gave them a 5-yard penalty to the 5 that they ended up scoring a touchdown from on the tip ball, but negated an interception. So 2nd and 9 for Middletown. Fuller still out there at quarterback. He's going to drop straight back.
Be flush from the pocket right away.
Looks like a good pass and catch. Caught out on the far right side. I think that might be number 4. If it is, that would be Will Williams. He's caught a couple balls for him, including the touchdown.
Yeah, it seems to be his favorite receiver as he gets out there now. He's hurt, I think.
It looked like somebody had him around the leg. He was trying to pull free.
And he was holding on. So it was one of the corners. I don't know who that was, Mason or if that was Hunter Anderson out there. Had him wrapped up, and then some other people cleaned up, and
I think Alex Afari was out on that side of the field for him. I'm not sure if he was the guy. But another Middletown point. Boy, this has been a a recurrent theme so far tonight that we
Yeah,
had.
Lakota West has, in my opinion, 2 dead solid lock Division I players in the next couple of years. One of them is going to be Shabola. I think he's going to be able to go anywhere he wants.
I know he was
77.
visiting Ohio State last week.
Yeah, I would imagine he's huge. He's big. As soon as he gains control of his body and gets some strength on him, he's going to be a man-child. And he's very athletic, plays basketball. And then I think you got to look at Fari.
He was visiting Pitt for the Miami Florida Pitt game last
Well,
last
that makes
Saturday
some
as well.
sense. That makes some sense because he certainly is. He's tall enough. He another. He started playing varsity basketball as a freshman, and you were right. It was full. It was
Will Williams.
Number from Will Williams that's down with an ankle, and Middletown's had a bunch of people going down. Their training room's going to be busy.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
they've had a bunch of injuries to the lower extremities.
Yeah, their training room's going to be busy tomorrow. But on the field comes the defense for West as they're getting ready to start back up after the injury. Middleton got first down out of that. Good yardage. So he brings up a 1st and 10.
Yeah, just outside the 30-yard line of Lakota West.
So Middletown finds some life offensively as late in the second half. West has scored a field goal in the second half. Now they've scored 10 points. They're at 31.
So there it is, your favorite guy, Bryant. Gain of about 5 yards before he's thrown down violently. There's 90 Andre Prophet. Looks like a little bit of a
not
fight.
happy about something.
Not what you want to do, especially as you're headed toward the playoffs.
And you're on the Middletown side.
What in the world are you doing?
Yeah,
you
their
know?
backups are
and
a lot
now
closer.
now he got a late penalty because I think he's still
Jawing.
still talking a little bit, but not what you want to do at all, right? Because
No.
I mean,
You don't want to get suspended for next week by getting thrown out of the game.
and there was no flag on the original, and
No.
there's the head ref telling their coach, the Middletown coach, to shut up himself, that they got her under control. So
Whatever it was right in front of the Middletown bench, so they're not happy about it. Then a flag came out late, and I think it was because Prophet was still jawing.
Well, as the
Shut up.
official was somewhat walking him back away from the Middletown team,
He said something.
he must have continued to be running his mouth, as they call it, and the official didn't seem very happy about it. They got away with the original issue. Whatever happened originally, no flag was thrown.
No, and what the problem with this is it's going to give Middletown a first down again because it's going to be another 15-yard penalty and puts them inside the red zone, and that's a problem. I mean, why would you do that to your team? Got to control yourself. I don't care what happened. Just shut up and walk back to the huddle.
So we'll see if they end up calling it on both teams here. You see the official over there talking to Middletown player as well, or the Middletown coaches. So sometimes we'll find out that they end up calling on both. So here we are. We were talking about Mr. Prophet, and the penalty is actually on Middletown. So I apologize. The timing of the flag sure looked like he was only with Andre Prophet walking off the field, but as we see it, they actually have walked off the penalty against Middletown. So it will be their ball. They're down, second down from their own 40-yard line, 2nd and 20, because that was a 5-yard gain, a 15-yard penalty. So that was, again, a little bit strange. The Middletown coaches look like they would like a little more information to understand why that happened.
And you see 2 or 3 coaches standing around down there. Look, I'm reading Middletown's coaching staff. They got Don Simpson listed as the head coach / defensive coordinator. Ross Baker is the assistant head coach and offensive coordinator. And so you got 2 head coaches essentially here. One's the offensive coordinator, one's the defensive coordinator. So that's why I think you see 2 people down there.
So again, our apologies to Mr. Prophet. The flag was actually thrown on Middletown.
Oh.
And it'll be 2nd and 20 from the 40-yard line.
Wow.
The officials are still having a little bit of a
Must
conversation.
have been on 5 because Prophet came up and was not happy with
right.
Conley, Bryant, on whatever happened there. He wasn't thrilled about it.
Okay, so what they just signaled was it was a dead ball and sportsmanlike conduct against Middletown, and the player was ejected.
Huh,
So whatever he did was
Really
significantly serious. I guess it was probably just a delay throwing the flag. And sometimes what you'll find is the official was putting his hands to try to get people separated and just didn't throw the flag yet. So that
Right.
may have been why the timing of the flag was so late.
It was on apparently Conley because he's not. Is that him?
No, Brian's still in there.
Brian
so,
Selection wasn't on 5.
yeah, not sure
That's
at
who
all.
Prophet came up jawing with was Prophet number 5. Josh Bryant.
Yeah, so let's see this. We'll see what happens. Maybe somebody came off the sideline. So there's Bryant.
Makes a catch.
Here comes
Gets hit.
Profit in to help with the tackle. They end up – so he's trying to throw him down. They go down. They're a little bit frustrated there. And I think what we just saw
Somebody
is
threw a punch right there.
And number 10 – so let's go back to live action. Completion to number 25, J.C. Calhoun, caught the ball gain of about 15, so it's going to be 3rd and 5.
Yeah, it looks like one of the players, number 10, did you say?
The ejection was number 10. He came off the sideline.
Kelvin
So that's why he was ejected.
Because he's a defensive player.
Yeah, he came off the sideline and got involved in it.
Profit. Okay,
so that's why
gotcha.
they threw the 15-yard penalty and ejected from the game. 3rd and about 6 here for Middletown. Nice throw by Fuller. He was able to throw it complete to J.C. Calhoun, 25. Boy, Ford didn't even get a chance to get his body turned. That will be an intentional grounding. So Noah Smith, number 14, was on him before he could even get a shoulder square. You'll see him. He started to roll to his left a little bit. So as a result, that's all the way back outside the 40-yard line.
Grounding.
Yeah, where the quarterback was when he threw the ball almost straight sideways.
Right. There's nobody out there. Did it purely to avoid a sack.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Do they have the tackle box?
They don't.
And if you
Yeah.
get outside, okay.
So
it's the old time grounding. Then.
So the penalty is interesting in high school, though. It's loss of down. You go to the spot of where he threw it as if it's a sack, and then 5 additional yards. So it's
Right.
a pretty
It's a
debilitating
big,
penalty
that's very big.
in high school. So that's going to put you in fourth down now and 28
yards
from the Lakota West 48-yard line.
And
still
they're going for it, which
still,
they have to.
Yeah, 3:55 to go. Still up 28 points.
I mean, how many plays you got there? 28 yards.
We've seen 25 J.C. Calhoun make a few plays.
I'm guessing he's going to blitz.
We saw 4 a few times, but I have not seen him back in. Looks like he's got some room to run, but I don't think enough to complete it, and just threw it over everybody.
So West will take over on downs with 3:46 left to go in the game, and that should do it. I'm guessing. I'm not sure that Middletown's going to be in down. This far, they're going to 20 whatever that
28
is,
points.
28 points. They're going to go for it.
So we'll see, that's the 4th down. We'll see what happens here. Still looks like that same group that was on the field last time. Caudell in there as the quarterback, number 45. The Evan Dramus, the running back.
Right.
We still see those 77 Shaboa out there as a lineman. So, still a lot of the starting group. Maybe
Yates, 88 wide receivers in number 88.
Probably trying to give the senior quarterback and senior running back a chance, right?
Yep.
Leave your starting lineup there. Sometimes you put all the second group in there, and the other team keeps their starters, and doesn't work very well. We can definitely see, though, we've got for Middletown a few of their subs in this time.
Oh, they still got Junior.
They still have Junior out there.
Yeah, and Junior's still killing them.
There's
Cameron
Shaboa.
Junior.
Shaboa at 77, Tegra out. So I'm guessing they may start moving some players a little more strategically out for Lakota West. 3:17 to go.
Yeah, 40 in the game is the running back right now. So
that was a gain of 2 for Dramus last play.
Owen Kaufman, number 40 in, is a new running back.
He's going to
get the ball.
Well, that wasn't very clean. He does get knocked forward for a gain of about 4. Flag in the area of holding.
Like you said, there are some new players in here. Looks like West is substituting their JB.
Yeah, Dan Menifee, number 4, was just in the game, a senior. Number 80 looks like he's coming in for him. That is a hold, as we suspected. Braden Johnson, a senior tight end, is coming on the field. I believe. I'm sorry, it's 81. That's Quasi Bobby, another senior wide receiver in the game. 84, Bain Allen, a senior, is in there.
Definitely emptying the bench at this point again. 28-point lead.
Patrick Slumba, I think I see out there, number 74. That would be a sophomore offensive lineman.
Good for the future. Give him some varsity action.
He's a rap star as well. He's dropped a rap song and everything.
How do you know that?
I have a son who's also a sophomore.
Oh, all right, there you go.
So run up the middle, good powerful run from number 40, Owen Kaufman, right?
That was real good.
I think Owen's a sophomore as well, is he?
Yeah, 40. I mean, it's a pretty good run from Owen Kaufman. And yes, they list him as a sophomore linebacker, 6 foot, 185 pounds, but he runs. He brings more than 185 pounds.
Yeah.
It looks like
88 Kier Yates in there to run the ball. So it looks like it's a mixture of seniors and sophomores. So we've got a mix of players out there.
Some guys going out and some future.
Yeah, I still see 75
Some of
Cole
these
Stafford
sophomores will
out
be
there.
starting next year's juniors and giving 2 more years. So Bolden looks pretty good. With you got obviously you got your quarterback for the next 3 years. Rest of this year,
There's Kaufman.
he runs nice.
Yeah, so it was 3rd and 12. He only gained about 1 on that, so it's going to be 4th down for the Firebirds. Still 150 to go and running.
Do you turn it loose with a pass here?
I think you have to pass the ball, or you have to punt the ball. See what happens here.
Oh, that was 3rd down.
Yeah,
Sorry.
that was 3rd. So I think you
4th
punt the ball.
Oh, you got to punt here.
So let's see if Mr. Caudell can keep it going. He's done a phenomenal job punting tonight.
Yeah, he's done a super job with. And they got to tell whoever that was last time that stopped the ball on a high bounce, don't do that. It's going to hit and roll farther.
The way it's gone for him tonight, it probably would have gone forward. He does a little bit of a rugby side to the right. Ball's going to hit the ground and roll.
Let her go.
There we go again. Another one inside the 20-yard line. Going to roll dead around the 17-yard line.
17-yard line. Good kick.
So another solid kick. That's,
if you're West, get him inside the 20 is all you really want to do. He did it.
36 yards and inside the 20. So another very solid kick from Caudell. He's done a nice job.
And West has brought in the subs. There's no starters in that I see.
Afari, who didn't start tonight, or maybe on the one corner, but
Afari's
he's a sophomore.
Yeah, they may leave some of the DBs in, but maybe not here. Here comes number 40. The running back comes in.
That was Owen Kaufman. Now he limped off the field. Now wait a minute. I see number 40 over on the bench. Do we have 2 40s?
We must have 2 40s.
Well, okay, so we apologize. We got the wrong people, but there are only 1 listed on our roster.
Yeah, I don't know who the other 40 is, and we'll get on.
Yeah. The only reason I noticed it is he limped off the field. I was surprised he came right back out there,
Right.
and he's over here on the bench looking at his ankle. Here we go, see what happens. We still have the Bryant running the ball right up the middle. Tackled by number 40. I'm going to assume maybe that is Owen Kaufman, since Owen Kaufman is listed as a linebacker. This number 40 is in the game as a linebacker, as
he's
a
actually
sophomore.
playing where he's listed, so the 40 that would run the ball, we don't know who that is.
There you go. So here we go, 49 seconds and running. Middletown's ball, 2nd and 3. Around the 25-yard line, 24-yard line. Quarterback 4 scrambles around. He's going to get the first down and more. There's number 40, Kaufman again, involved in
Good
tackle.
tackle by Kaufman, if it is Kaufman.
And somebody came from behind. It looked like 59 also was involved in the play.
Good tackle by Kaufman, though. Put his face right into the chest and
Hosea
upper
Booker,
stomach.
another 5'10", 200-pound sophomore linebacker, also involved in the play there.
Middletown with first down.
Yeah, 29 seconds to go here in the game. Lakota West up 41-13. There we go. You got some. Even these guys are getting a little bit of pressure out there. Quarterback Fuller throws the ball and didn't get a chance to get his feet set and threw it short of the intended receiver. So it's going to be 2nd and 10. Clock does stop for that with 16 seconds. Going to bring the ball back to this hash mark. See if we can note some other players in there. And again, I see a number 60, but not listed in our lineup. 63 is Brady James.
These got to be freshmen or sophomores that they brought up, because they got 20 in there, which is A.O. He's a senior, though. Number 20 they brought in, A.O. Abin. I'm going to give it that to you. Who's 20's name? Abba, you're a lawyer. Figure that out.
Adabison.
Okay, I'll give it to you.
Ball was intended for the receiver there from Middletown in the middle. Receiver, I think that was number 5, Bryant, could not hold on to it.
Yeah, the only starter I see out there is a Fari at the corner.
Who's a sophomore. So
who's a sophomore.
Yeah. So we're now 3rd and 10 from the 33-yard line with 12 seconds to go. I also see number 31, Kelvin Nakanza out there, split out. We'll see what's happened. 4 still in the quarterback. Back to pass, throws the ball over the middle of the field, incomplete. It'll be 4th and 10. 32 was coming across to provide some coverage for Lakota West.
They were looking for Josh Bryant, number 5, across the middle.
And 32 came across for coverage, who's not listed on our roster.
Huh.
So as you said, last game of the season, who knows if they just brought more players up, some duplicate numbers.
I'm wondering if they just brought some freshmen up.
So we'll see what happens here, though, with the 4th and 10, 6 seconds to go. This is likely to be our last play, and it definitely will be for scrambles. Extends the play, decides he's going to throw it, throws it downfield, caught, and tackled for a nice gain, about 20 yards.
And that ends the game.
25 yards, but that'll be the game.
So Lakota West wins its last game on senior night, which is great to hear. build some confidence for the playoffs, which will be next week. I don't know if we'll be televising the playoff games or not. We'll find out from Westchester TV if that's in the cards for us. But if not, it's been a great season, Brent. I appreciate you doing this with me and bringing your football knowledge on. And, good luck. I guess this could be it. I guess we could be back for the playoffs. I don't know. We'll find out from Westchester TV. But the Lakota West Firebirds complete a very nice year, going 7-3 and making the Ohio State playoffs.
So final score again for Firebird Stadium, Lakota West 41 and the Middletown Middies 13.
Dan Zebrink, and I'm Dan Zebrink, and my partner is Brent Phelan, and we'll see you later.
Good night, everybody.